So how you doing tonight, Coach?
Well, Travis McDonald feeds inside the ball.
He's out to the 20. Gets a good hole. He's to the 30, the 40, the 50. Has one man to beat. He runs him over, and he's out to the 50-yard line.
And 98, you're with Jeff Brooks. Joining me shortly will be John Emmington, and we are here the last Friday night football game of the season. The Cadillac Vikings are taking on the Traverse City Central Trojans for the outright Big North Conference Championship. Cadillac comes in 8-0. Traverse City Central is second in the Big North, would do nothing more than knock Cadillac off the pedestal for the second straight year. Cadillac and Traverse City meet for the Big North Conference Championship, and Cadillac is on a roll, 8-0. They have been the team to beat. I think a lot of people were surprised this year with the Cadillac Vikings, thinking they were going to be a little down from the talent that they lost last year. But, you know, John, to tell you the truth, Cadillac Vikings have really stepped up this year and proven that they are the program in the Big North. Test.
Test. I can hear me, but not you.
Test.
Can you hear me?
No. Test.
You got me?
8-0 on the season, and Remington set to kick off. John, you know, it's a special night here, Parents' Night. Cadillac comes in 8-0, chance for a Big North Conference Championship, and I think it's going to be a good one.
Oh, baby, you couldn't write it up any better. Here's the kickoff. Nice long high kick.
Be fielded at the 10-yard line by Traverse City Central. He's bringing it across the 20, going to be met there by a host of Cadillac Vikings. First on the scene is, I think, Keenan Cooper with number 7, Johnny Alberts, and 33 or 43. Let me switch places. 43.
43 is going to be Michael Holtship, and yeah.
So, all right, Traverse City Central will take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. And this is for the Big North Conference Championship. They either win it outright tonight or they share it with Traverse City Central.
Yeah, the cool thing for the Vikings, you already got a share of that thing. Traverse City certainly wants to take their share of it home with them tonight.
So, all right, first handoff, inside handoff, a little trap play. Picks up maybe about 3 yards for the Trojans. Cadillac Vikings will bring up a 2nd and 7. And that's one thing Cadillac this year, I think, surprised a lot of teams. Their defense has been really stout.
Yeah, it's been a stellar performance week in and week out this year for the Cadillac Vikings on the defensive side of the ball. When you got, you know, as you talked about, loss of size, but on the line, those guys have just played phenomenally, especially between the tackles. There hasn't been a whole lot let go all year long, and certainly that was the case last week against Manistee.
Yeah, and the defense obviously led by T.J. Baker. They're going to throw the ball out deep. They have a guy, and the pass is not complete. He had, you know, I don't know a whole lot about number 11, Sean Williams. He had the receiver deep, if he would have threw it out, but he kind of threw it out to the outside shoulder. They picked a little bit on Jake Ellens, which I don't know if you really want to do that because he's probably a first-team all-conference selection at the cornerback position.
Yeah, there's no question. He's the best cornerback on our team, and he's probably at least in the top 5 of the conversation in the Big North and maybe in all of Northern Michigan. But they might have saw a tendency. You would think with play number 2 on their script, it was something that they saw and they wanted to go to, and maybe Jake likes to crowd the line of scrimmage a little bit, and they were trying to take advantage of that.
So it's 3rd and 5 with 11 minutes left. It looks like a pitch out there to the scat back. Not much going on there. Oh, he reverses field. Not a whole lot. Oh, he might get outside. They're going to get a flag.
A block in the back.
He gets pushed out of bounds finally by T.J. Baker, but yeah, there's going to be a block in the back, or there's going to be a holding out there on the edge, and that's going to back Traverse City Central up another 10 yards.
Traverse City players on the ground here on our sideline. Looked like he was hurt at the end of the play, but this one is definitely going to come back. Nice job by their running back to be able to escape out of all that pressure that he was under in the backfield. I think this is probably going to be declined by the Vikings, I would guess. They don't need the 5 yards as much as...
Yeah, the one thing I don't think Traverse City Central really wants to see is Ethan Campbell, who just came back from that suspension last couple games. He's one of their best backs. He's on the ground. He's hurt. He's a 100-yard rusher for Traverse City Central, and that's something they cannot afford to lose.
That's T.J. Shepard on the ground?
That's Ethan Campbell.
That's Ethan, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of the players that weren't able to play a little bit during the season, but yeah, he's definitely one of their top running backs, and you never want to see an injury. And I'm not sure he's a long ways out of bounds. It didn't look like there was any type of late contact to me on that play. I don't know if he landed weird when he got to the sideline, but the Vikings did decline that penalty. It's going to bring up a 4th down and about 4 yards to go.
It's obviously an upper body injury. It's not a lower body, so I don't know if maybe his head hit the ground or shoulder got jarred. But T.J. Baker, who's probably a first-team all-conference linebacker, laid the lick on him out of bounds, and that's unfortunate.
Well,
he's up and he's okay. He's a tough kid.
Good deal. And TJ's kind of nursing himself a little bit of an ankle injury tonight that he tweaked, and just it's taped up, and he's going to tough it out. It's not a game where I think you'd have to be on a stretcher in order to not have him play this football game. So nice job by the Vikings to stop Traverse City Central in their tracks and bring up a 4th down and hopefully get the ball back here. Yeah, the one thing Traverse City does not want to get, they don't want to get in a foot race with us. Their first 3 and out, if you leave this up to the offenses all night, Cadillac will run you right off the field. Cadillac's offense is as explosive as I've seen in the last couple of years, and they will put up 30, 40 points, and you're either going to match it or you're going to ball control, and that's probably something Traverse City doesn't want to do right now, is turn the ball over to us after 3 and out. Yeah, certainly not a good start for the Trojans the way that they would want it to, but nice for our Vikes, and here's Ethan and Jake back to receive this punt.
So, all right.
Nice spiral.
Yep, the punt's going to be fielded by Jake Ellens, who's going to call for a fair catch.
Oh, you got to throw the flag on that?
Yep.
15 yards.
So a fair catch call. He gets penalized by hitting him, and that'll give us another 15 yards. So we'll start our first possession inside Traverse City Central's field position at about probably the 45-yard line once they mark this off. And, that's just something you can't give Cadillac. You can't give Cadillac a short field because they're going to make you pay because they just have so many weapons from the running back position from Nate Hauk, and then Michael Holchip, who's just been on a tear the last 3 weeks, 520 yards, 8 touchdowns in 3 games. Webb decided to start giving him the ball the last few games, and I tell you, he's produced.
Yeah, Michael Holchip is a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal running back, a phenomenal defensive player on the football field. And, he's really, really shown up and been productive here in the last 3 or 4 weeks. 42-yard line.
Shotgun formation for Lewis Finch. He's back to pass. He's looking for Ethan Myers out there in the flat. He picks up about 10 yards before he's knocked out of bounds there at the 30-yard line. So a nice little pass play. Traverse City Central's laying off the corners or 10 yards deep. That's something that Jim Webb's really been doing well, getting your receivers 6, 7 yards deep, doing that comeback route and forcing your cornerbacks to come up and play the game, and that's just what opens up the running game.
Yeah, no question about it. The versatility at the wide receiver spot this year has created just mismatches all over the place, and no different here tonight. I think Cadillac's coaches feel like they've got a definite advantage there.
So handoff to Michael Holchip around that right side. The Battleship gets down to about a 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain, down to about the 25-yard line. You got to love it when you see the offensive linemen like Zeb Boersma and Sam Denman and Matt Myers, who just really anchor that offensive line. The senior leadership coming from that offensive line has just really helped this year for a running game.
Yeah, no question. It's been a lot of years since You know, Traverse City has dominated us the way that they used to in the past, but that's the type of offensive surge that you're used to seeing out of the white jerseys on the other sides and out of ours. It's nice to see.
So Lewis Finch out there, little bit underthrown to Jake Ellens. He had that little 5-yard dive. You know, the coaching staff recognizes right away that I don't think the cornerbacks are going to be able to handle our two receivers, especially the size of Jake Ellens and then the speed of Ethan Myers. They're going to play that 10 yards off. We're going to pick them apart for 5 yards at a time. And T.J. Baker, I see, is going to split out. Michael Holdship. I doubt we're throwing left, but I'm pretty sure we got 5 receivers set. Shotgun formation.
A lot of times this will be Lewis keeping it up in the middle, but a little bit of versatility out of this last week.
Yep, jet formation. Nice mature cut by Nate.
He's going to be stopped short. This may be a field goal situation then if Coach.
That was a nice job by the Traverse City Central linebacker who actually stayed home, did not over-pursue. He stayed there. Nate make a mature cut. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 3 or 4 for Cadillac.
Jim's going to go for it, which I don't fault him for that at all. It'd be a field goal spot, certainly within Andrew's wheelhouse. It'd be about a 25, 35.
There's no wind. I don't know. That's a big lift.
Yeah, it would be, but Jim's got a lot of confidence. These guys can get 4 yards, and he wants to dial it up. And if you don't get it, you're not giving them great field position. So,
all right, 2-back set. Lewis Finch in
shotgun
formation. He got him to jump.
This may be
they didn't throw the flag.
They're going for it all.
Deep. Oh, and they almost get it out there to Ethan Myers.
Flags. Wow.
But he must not have broke the plane, so that'll bring up the first down for Traverse City Central. They hold. That was such a big play.
Yeah, Jim's not happy. I don't know if he's not happy with his players, if he's not happy with the officiating. There was definitely a lot of activity right before the snap of the ball, but they must not have, as you said, got into the neutral zone. And just an unfortunate, it looked like Ethan had a little bit of space in the beginning. Lewis kind of underthrew it. Ethan had to go up and wasn't to be. So 75 yards to go, though, for the Traverse City Central Trojans.
So, all right, Sean Williams, the floor general for Traverse City Central, hands off, inside handoff to, I think that's got to, is that Shepperly?
T.J. Shepperly, I think was on the carry.
Joe Shepperly? T.J. was the older brother.
I'm sorry, yep. Joe, yep.
Joe Shepperly carries the ball. T.J. was such a great kid, great competitor.
No, that was Campbell, 20. That was
it? Okay, so he's back in the game, so it's nice to see him come back from that little injury that he had. But this isn't the Traverse City Centrals that you've seen of late, with Max Sovereign and those athletes that they've had. They've struggled out there on the edge most of the year, speed-wise, and that's something you just usually see from Traverse City Central. They've always been a pretty proud, speedy back-type offense. They've always been pretty well on track, and right there they went to the air. They did not get it. That'll bring up 3rd and long for Traverse City Central, and our defense is looking pretty solid, John.
Yeah, just outside of the grasp of that small receiver out there who kind of stretched his arms out the entire way to try to get that thing. You look from here, this far away, that he may have hauled it in, but it went off top of his fingertips and out of bounds. Going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, so with this win tonight, Cadillac's looking at 2 home games for the playoffs, something that's going to be nice home cooking for the Cadillac Vikings if they can pull off a victory tonight. They got 1 for sure. Actually, they probably got 2 even if they lose, but they might be able to pick up a 3rd if they win tonight, and that's something Jim Webb's probably looking for in a draw play, too. Campbell right there, and he had some daylight, but that's the difference between turf and grass. You can't make those cuts. It's a little tougher, and that's going to bring up 4th and about 6 or 7 for the Traverse City Central, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, this seems to be setting up a little bit. You've got 2 teams offensively that are kind of, I don't want to say feeling each other out a little bit, but they're running their stuff. They're not afraid to run it. They're not afraid to pass it. They're going to spread people out. But right now it just looks like everybody's a little bit on edge and a little bit, there's not a whole lot of rhythm and flow to either offense right now. And the first team that can get this thing in gear and right the ship and get just everybody on the same page is going to have an advantage getting on the scoreboard first.
So Jake Ellens is going to let that bounce. It's going to go down to maybe about the 31, 32-yard line where Cadillac will take over with the Lewis Finch-led offense. 1st and 10, 7:51 left in the first quarter. And like I said, I think the grass field plays a part in it. I know Traverse City plays quite a few opponents and other people on natural turf. They do play in the Big North on natural grass, but it's a different feel, it's a different cut, and you just got to get used to it.
Yeah, no question about it. The one thing that we don't really have to deal with tonight is a whole lot of weather. There's not a whole lot of wind. There's not any rain. What do we
22 lined up in the neutral zone.
already in
Defensive
there.
back was lined up over the 30-yard line, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the defensive back for Traverse City Central. That'll be a 1st and 5 for Cadillac.
2 early penalties by the Traverse City Trojans, and this one is one that the Cadillac Vikings have to take advantage of. That first 15-yard penalty was huge to get you across the 50-yard line. Weren't able to punch it in. We didn't kick the field goal to try to get 3 early ones. You got to get some points on the board and take advantage of any early mistakes by a visiting Trojan team.
So Lewis Finch shotgun, hands off to Michael Holdship, the battleship right up the middle, right over the left side there of the line. Picked up, about a couple yards. That's the one thing about Michael that, it really
positive yardage, isn't it?
impresses me. You don't see a lot of negative yards from him. If you get hits, he's still going to drag a defender. He picks up 1 or 2 and just makes your life easier as a coach.
Oh, his legs are tree trunks. He's tough to tackle, and that, which looked like a nice defensive play by the Trojans, still results in 3.5 yards gain, so brings up 2nd down and short.
It's all right, 2nd and 2 for the Cadillac Vikings. Pistol formation, hand off to Nate Houck, the scat back, going to still pick up maybe a yard. Sam Denman pulled off there. Brandon Richardson did a nice job there with the push.
Nate squeezed through. He may have got the 1st down.
He might have. Yeah, he did.
His legs stopped turning on that thing. I think he got all the way through there. That's something that Nate, after he got through his injury, has been able to do here in the last few weeks. Is he's become he's a power first runner. He's kind of like Reggie Bush is for the Lions. In order to get his outside stuff, he's figured out that he's got to run between the tackles tough first, and then when those linebackers, those outside linebackers, those outside corners and safeties start to commit to that, then he's able to get his angles to get on the outside. But it doesn't work always the other way around, especially when you're playing fast teams like the Traverse City Trojans. It's hard to get to the outside first.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Shotgun formation, 2 running back set. Lewis Finch is going to hold on to that right around the right side. He's not going to pick up a whole lot. Maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. It was a kind of a slow developing play. We were showing pistol to the right, and then we faked to the left. We kind of we don't run that counter tray anymore, but that's our counter tray, is that fake power to the left, and Lewis came back, and the linebackers just did a good job, and so did number 73 for Traverse City.
Looked like there was a little just impatience in the timing there on the part of the Vikings. Lewis probably wants to ride that handoff out a little bit further to let I don't think Traverse City was really off the line much by the time he had already pulled it out and committed to running right, and they really hadn't reacted to any of the play action stuff inside yet.
Yeah, we're not throwing this ball because Keenan Cooper's way too tight, or Michael Holdship's way too tight. He's going to block. Lewis Finch back to pass. He's rolling out. He's got T.J. Baker sitting right there. He's looking. And he gets drilled out there by the weak side line defensive end. Lewis Finch was in his rotation. He's a lefty. It's tough to run right, to throw the ball back, because Lewis has got to be one of those guys that really sets that shoulder. And defensive play by Traverse City, bring up 3rd and long for the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the blocking assignment is for somebody to be left in there and take care of Lou's blind side, but also Lou's probably feels like that play needs to develop a little bit faster and get him across the field and get his hips the way that they need to be in the shoulders so that he can make that throw. But
yeah, he had TJ short early, but I think he was trying to go to that middle hook button route, and it just didn't transpire. So we got 3 receivers set down low, 1 up top. Lewis Finch in shotgun formation. Michael Holdship blocking. Lewis Finch back to pass. He's looking for a little bit. He's going to have to scramble now. He's going to come around 1. They're chasing him down. They're going to chase him down at the 40-yard line. He had nothing going on there. I think they were trying to set up a screen play for Nate Houck. It didn't happen. It's going to bring up 4th and long to the Vikings. They're going to have to punt it away.
Nice job by Lewis to escape the initial pressure from the Traverse City Trojans, but your receiver's got to come back, and you got to follow the path of the quarterback when you're out there, and you look back, and he's having to scramble out to the right side. Everybody's got to come back and kind of take an angle where you can get within his vision and his ability to throw the ball to you. There was nobody around on that left side once Lewis started to scramble out there. He just had to take it out of bounds.
So Michael Holdship will have to punt. I think Keenan Cooper is the long snapper for Cadillac.
Yes, he is. Yep.
He's going to snap it to Michael Holdship. And Holdship boots a beautiful, look at it, turnover. Wow, and he's going to knock it down. He's going to pick it up at the 12-yard line. We got guys down there. Good coverage by Keenan Cooper, finally hauled down by the Cadillac Vikings, but a beautiful punt by Michael Holdship to pin Traverse City back at the 20-yard line where they will take over 1st and 10. And, this reminds me a lot of last year's football game up at Traverse City where Cadillac came in the favorite. Personally, I believe you have a better football team in blue than you have in white. I've seen that in the first 3 series, and I think it's just a matter of time before we get something going. But I tell you, Traverse City, they always play us tough, and they come to play tonight.
Well, they should play you tough. I mean, you know, I would guess throughout the series in history here, it's probably heavily weighted on Traverse City's side just because of the size of their school versus the size of ours. But, you know, the record on Blue's side and the common opponents that they've had this year and the scores and all that stuff would indicate that Cadillac is probably a little bit stronger this year. But at some point in time, you got to rise up and you got to make that happen on the field. And Traverse City's excited. They're the team that's got a little bit more pressure on them, I think, tonight than the Cadillac does. Regardless of what happens, both teams have a bigger game next week than they have tonight, but Cadillac's already secured that share of the Big North, so the only thing left to play for is really kind of a perfect season and beating your big brother that has always kind of bothered you up to the north, and so Traverse City's the one that really probably feels a little bit more pressure than the Vikes do tonight.
So not a whole lot going on there for Ethan Campbell, number 7. Johnny Elbert stayed home. 20 tried to shake and bake, but the corner stayed home. But there's one thing that I've really noticed the last 4 offensive plays for Traverse City, and I want to make note of it, is they're putting 2 hats on T.J. Baker right now. They're bringing 2 offensive linemen off the line if you watch, and they're hitting T.J. Baker. They're trying to take him out of the game, and that's smart as a coach because T.J. Baker has done very well as far as tackles. He's led the team in tackles for the last 2 years, and they're trying to neutralize that right now.
Yeah. If you can neutralize the best tackler that's been in your program, the only problem with that is now you're putting 2 hats on him. It leaves somebody else open, and you've got some depth on our side of the football. Where if you're going to commit 2 guys to there, who are you not going to block? You can't leave guys like John Durga and Sam Denman. You can't leave Dominic Cataldo. You can't leave whoever's in there at the time, Ethan Myers. The list kind of goes on, but those guys are going to take up some slack. So if you're going to commit 2, our guys have shown, they're going to fill that spot pretty quickly and find the football.
Yeah, what unsung heroes in Hunter Smaker and Brandon Richards. Those guys have done. I mean, Brandon Richards. If you look back at his career, he comes up through the ranks as a quarterback. Obviously, he does not have the body style of a quarterback.
Yep.
He played quarterback because he filled a need. But that tells you the type of athleticism he has. Hunter Smaker, who's just kind of a physical specimen in my mind, if you just look at his size. And then Johnny Alberts is one of those defensive backs that have come in over the years, just like your Tommy Cathins and your Aaron Wilkinsons, who's just kind of shined and come to the forefront of senior year. You got guys on this team that are unsung heroes that are just playing a part in a huge role, and that's why Cadillac has been, are going for number 18 consecutive regular season victories, is because of those guys. I know your Lewis Finches and your Nate Houks and all those guys and play a big part of that too, but I tell you, the program is built on more than just 1 or 2 or 3 guys. It's 11, 22 guys, and everyone's sitting on the bench. And
there's no doubt about it that you're exactly right, that the guys that are not preseason game planned for by opponents in our league are the ones who have made a huge difference this year. The guys that you've already mentioned, and Jake Ellens, I know he's just been such a surprise to so many other people out there. Not so much to us because we've always kind of seen it coming, but there's a lot of talent at the younger depths.
Oh, they set up the screen.
That's a hold, fellas. That's a hold.
And they don't see it.
Called.
They did hold
Wow.
Ethan, or they held T.J. Baker out there, and Todd Baker's right now giving the official an earful. But, yeah, T.J. got held out there. But they're going to hold him short 2 or 3 yards on the first down, and it's going to force a Traverse City Central punt because, to tell you the truth, I think they're pretty happy with the 0-0 game with 3:57 left in the first quarter.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I know that Traverse City Central coming into this game knows it's an absolutely winnable football game for them, and it is. I mean, you got 2 teams that are fairly evenly matched. Traverse City's only lost came to Petoskey in our league, and Petoskey was on an emotional high that night from some things that had happened in their school, and maybe played a little bit better than they played against Cadillac when Cadillac played them, but their only other loss was to a big downstate team, and they're a good football team, and they know they can win this game. So I don't know how happy they're going to be with anything but a victory here tonight, and Cadillac knows that. And at some point in time here, one of these teams is going to assert their will offensively, and it's going to put the other team, whoever scores first, is going to put the other team in kind of a pickle. I mean, there's going to be a huge weight that's shifted to the shoulders of whatever team did not score first, because you're getting into that kind of a game right now where Cadillac's not used to punting. I don't think Traverse City's that used to punting, and so far they've had to give it up on 4th down a couple of times. So let's see if the Vikes can mount a charge here about 55 yards, 56 yards, and put one in the end zone.
So they start on their 34-yard line, ace back formation, shotgun. Michael Holchip behind Lewis Finch, who's been a workhorse. They got a jet formation going, and Nate Houck, they hand it off to Michael Holchip up the middle. The battleship rumbles for about 7 yards before he's hauled down there by the secondary. The safety has to come up and make the hit. And I tell you, if the safety is going to have to start making hits on Michael Holchip, who's the number 5 rated player in the Lake Michigan Football Report for honorable reasons, it's going to be a long night for Traverse City.
I love that action by the Vikings where you get some jet sweep formation, and sometimes you give it to Nate and sometimes you don't, and it just puts so much pressure on your outside linebackers and just freezes the guys in the middle just enough. All Michael needs is about a foot of space to work with.
So T.J. Baker in motion. Battleship shows his strength there, fighting off defender after defender. He's going to rumble down to around inside Traverse City Central's. But it was a nice block there by the offensive line. It was a nice seal block by T.J. Baker as he was scraping across. And Cadillac Vikings, they're in business. First down and 10 at the Traverse City Central 47-yard line, and they're putting pressure right now on Traverse City.
They are. I think 75, I think that's Zeb Borsman in there. I want to give him some credit for staying on that block. Even his guy was kind of had a stunt blitzing across the line of scrimmage on a slant right in front of him, and he stayed on that block just long enough. Didn't get a huge hit on him, but just occupied him a little bit to let Michael get around that corner. Otherwise, that could be a loss.
So pistol formation, Nate Houck in the backfield. Michael Holchip going to lead block. He's going to pitch it out to Nate Houck, and it almost looked like he was going to throw the ball. But that is a legal procedure on Cadillac.
Did Ethan move out there, or what was that?
I'm not sure, but it's a legal procedure on Cadillac. It's going to back him up 5 yards.
That's just, we can't do that. We cannot do that.
So that'll back us up about 5 yards. But one thing that I'd like to see us start doing a little better is Ethan Myers has a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent returning punts. And I thought that last punt, I know it's 3 minutes ago, but that last punt, he had some room to take that ball.
He's been real conservative on punt returns. You're right.
I remember watching Jay Carell. Dude, that kid was ballsy.
Yeah.
He would pick stuff up.
Catch it on the fly a little bit. And
Ethan has that talent. And in the playoffs, I hope he uses that talent. So handoff to Nate Houck, a little scat back, and nice job. He stays on his feet. He's still running. Finally, the outside linebacker, but I tell you, 73 did a nice job reading the play. He stayed on the line of scrimmage. You just didn't bring him down, but he held Nate up long enough for a minimal gain of about 5 yards to bring up 2nd and 10 or 11 for the Vikings.
Nice job. He was finally drilled there by, I think it's Daniel Yelker, or however you pronounce that, for Traverse City Central. But, yeah, Nate turned nothing into about a 5.5 yard gain right there, which got back that yardage from the costly penalty on first down. So.
But going back to what I was talking about, I mean, we have two really dangerous returners in Jake Ellens and Ethan Myers, and I'd like to see us start being a little more aggressive.
Yeah, we do need to get more out of the return game.
So Lewis Finch looking to pass out to Jake Ellens. Nice reception out there, and finally gets hauled down, but not before a first down. So Lewis Finch looked off the defensive back, came back to Jake Ellens on that 10-foot route, or 10-yard route, and a first down for the Cadillac Vikings, and we're moving the chains.
Love the versatility. I love just the change-up that Coach Webb is throwing at him here a little bit, and just some different looks. That's some action in the backfield that we haven't seen a whole lot of, with Nate kind of scurrying out to the left side of Lewis, and there's a little bit of a muff snap, but Lou's going to make something out of it.
Yeah, Jake Ellens, I don't know what to say. In my book, from the games I've watched, he's a first-team DB, Big North, and he's a first-team wide receiver.
He's the best defensive back that I've seen in our league. There's no question about that. And, between he and Ethan, I mean, if they're not 1 and 2 as far as receivers go in the Big North, they're pretty close near the top. I mean, they're both tough kids, and Jake's toughness probably shows a little bit more in Ethan's, finesse and ability for yards after the catch, and athleticism and making the catch maybe shows a little bit more. But, man, what a compliment to each other they are.
So Nate Houck around that corner. He's going to be brought down around just across the 20-yard line. He's going to pick up another first down, but there's the speed. I tell you get Nate Houck on natural turf, and he gets faster.
Oh, yeah.
So I tell you, come playoff time, once we get off our grass and we get on turf, we're a dangerous team all the way around on the edge, especially at the linebacker position where we're undersized a little bit, but we have a lot of speed.
Yeah, and I love that we're hurrying up here on offense a little bit, not letting Traverse City catch a breath. They got some bigger guys inside.
Wow, nice job there by number 33.
Oh, we got a fumble?
Devontae Walker. Boy, Michael, that's his first fumble of the year, if that was Michael, and it was, but 33, Devontae Walker, he's the one that caused, or Joe Shepperly, it had to be, big 32.
Hit. It was a big hit, and probably helmet right on the ball, or at least a hard stick with a forearm or a fist or something, but tough spot on the field to give that thing up, and the Vikes are driving, and man, costly, but you know, it's the 18-yard line. Now the defense got to step back in. You got, like we said, it's two football teams that are good, confident in what they do. They got good athletes. They got strong kids, fast kids, and so far it's been pretty entertaining, even without a score.
So shotgun formation for Traverse City Central. He's a little flare pass out there in the flat to Ethan Campbell, and he's going to pick up minimal yardage, about 2 yards, but that's something I haven't seen so far yet of Traverse City Central's. You know, Joe Shepperly is such a presence running the ball, big physical back. He hasn't had a ton of carries so far. I don't know if he's carried the ball yet. And as a sophomore, I tell you, when last year I was impressed with Shepperly and the way he played. And, you know, I know his older brother real well, and you're going to see Shepperly here sooner or later. It's just you just haven't seen him yet this game.
Yeah, he'll get involved in the game for sure. But man, the collective team speed.
There he is, right there, and he just ran over the defensive lineman. I tell you, he's a load to bring down.
He's a load, but nice job by the Vikes to just stay home. That was a lot of counter action. You know, you heavily load up this side of the field, and the action starts to come this way to the quarterback. And those guys, nice job by those guys to stay home over there. I'm not sure who that was. If that was Hunter Schmaker over there, maybe on that. On the left side, and Dan McMurray.
Well, you got Durga and Schmaker, and you got T.J. Baker over there, who's, you know, like I said, he's probably an all-Big North selection at the linebacker position. But that's going to be the end of the first quarter. 0-0 tie here in Cadillac. Just like last year, we're at a stalemate. And, you know, it's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Cadillac Vikings. What a special 2 years Cadillac's had. A lot of people thought there was going to be a lot of parity in the Big North Conference this year. You know, personally, John, I really didn't see it. You know, I thought Traverse City West was going to be a heck of a lot better than what they were. And I'm not sure what's going on up there in West Traverse. But on paper, they were the best team in my book.
Well, it's, you know, I think there was a lot of parity in our league, but I think you do have some different elements that come into play with each team. And I think on paper and as I've seen them play on the field, one of the best teams in our league has one of the worst records, and that's Alpena. I mean, they just they have a lot of ways that they can beat you, and they just week after week it seems like find a different way to fumble away and lose football games. And
it's a culture of winning.
Well, it is, and that's what's been established here in Cadillac. Traverse City's had that for a long time with their rich, long football tradition, and you know, Traverse City West of late has had a lot of hiccups up there, and you really don't ever know what you're going to get year to year up there. Gaylord's strong and back, and Petoskey, you know, does their double wing thing, and they do it as well as anybody. So I think it's been a strong league. I don't know that it's as top heavy. I don't think there's a great team in the Big North, but the two teams that are playing tonight, I do think are the two best teams in our league. They've shown that week in and week out.
I agree.
And they deserve to be playing for this thing tonight. And we kind of got to back up a little bit because I came in late. We had the Parents' Night thing going on, and we were late getting here. But, yeah, to set this thing up, it's crazy to think, you know, if we think back when we were coaching our kids in Pop Warner and where Cadillac's program was at that time, and if you'd have told us, hey, when your kids are going to be juniors and seniors in high school, they're going to be competing for things like Big North championships and making deep runs in playoffs and things, and they're going to be playing on a Friday night for a second undefeated season in a row, we said we'll take that every single time. And that's become reality, and it's just, as they make a huge stop there. Was that on 3rd down?
Yeah, the Cadillac speed is, you're not going to see this until you get to the playoffs, but our speed on defense is as good.
It's team speed, right?
We have team speed, we're undersized on the defensive line, but if teams aren't going to pound us, see, that was the thing with Traverse City West. They decided not to pound us.
Yep.
And if they wanted to sit there and just pound us, they could, but they just can't force themselves. Our team speed is as good as anybody that I've seen in the last, you know, even with Harrell and Ellsworth and Silvers. And
I think in the beginning of the year, teams did try to pound it, and they were successful in pounding it, but the problem became if they couldn't stick it all the way in the end zone, get away from that ball, fellas. If they couldn't stick it all the way in the end zone and one little mistake happened or you didn't happen to get it on 4th down, our offense is so potent that now you're putting points on the board, and when you play that, try to pound it and control the clock type of offense, it's tough when you're down a touchdown or two to stick with that. And I think that's what suffocated teams a little bit early in the year, and I think when you scout for that and you look at that on film, you think, oh, you know, we can make some hay between the tackles against Cadillac because of their size deficiencies and things like that. But are we going to win the whole football game? Yeah, they did, and you know, having watched that game, watched every game and every down this year, I think that was as much on our side as it was on Gaylord's side. They played a heck of a football game, but that was not our best effort that night and our most focused effort for sure.
So Lewis Finch gets swallowed up there after a gain of about 3 yards. Nice tough run by Lou. I don't want to see him take too many hits from the safety on free shots like that. 32, Shepperly did a nice job of holding him up, and then the free safety came up and just laid the lick. I don't want to see Lou, especially knowing that you got at least 2 home games in the playoffs, taking too many shots tonight, regardless of the Big North Conference Championship.
Well, if we can get up to the line one of these times and get a quick out to Jake or whoever split wide out there. Traverse City's slow to get themselves set defensively.
And the pass out there to Ethan Myers, he's going to pick up the first down. So a nice job. Cadillac's got they got something going on there with that little pass. I don't know if the DBs are really as strong as what our receivers are.
You've got to respect the speed.
Yep.
I mean, Ethan Myers is not a 4-flat 40 guy, but he's probably a 4-5, 40 guy. And Jake on the other side is too, but they're not just skinny. Yeah, I mean, they're strong guys. And so, you got to give them a little respect. You can't go bump and run on them all the way up to the line of scrimmage every time because they'll go by you. And Lewis will find them when they do. So it's a tough thing. Cadillac has got a lot of versatility to this offense, and it's Coach Webb is kind of like a kid in a candy store when it comes to being able to draw up plays and dial up stuff because there's just a lot of things that can work when you got speed coming from 2 different edges, 2 different receivers that can catch it, a quarterback that can throw and run a little bit, and linemen that are committed enough to keep guys off of those guys in the backfield. That's what you've got. You've got a ton of heart on that front line. Whatever they may lack in size, they make up for a lot in just want to and effort and their willingness to get off the ball low. And
so we hit an injury on the field, number 9, Matt Pupil. Nate Pupil's, hopefully, I think he's brother probably. Nate and Jalen were pretty good friends. But, the one thing about the Cadillac Vikings, and this has been pretty prevalent the last 3 or 4 years, and I think it started with the Silvers crew with Mike Weeks and those guys, but they really started an essence of winning.
Yep.
And they did it when they went up to Marquette and they won that first district. And
that was huge. That was a big breakthrough. I remember that weekend well, and that was. And I would even go back maybe a year or 2 before that when Mac McDonald's crew went up to Gaylord and won on the road in the first game of the playoffs after having lost to them in the regular season here, just the week before, and to go up there on the road and pound that thing in at the end. I mean, I think that was a corner kind of turning situation for the Vikings program, and showed some guys at the younger levels that things can happen, and then the crew that you just talked about going up to Marquette and doing what they did. I mean, that started guys getting in the weight room and buying in, and then right around that time too, there was the change in the way that we approached our stuff offensively from a veer offense and kind of a vanilla pound it type thing to be able to do some things with some athletes. And
so
Lewis baby, Lewis may go.
He's at the
he
20,
may go.
He's at the 10.
Yeah, baby!
Cadillac. Lewis Finch takes it in. Everyone over pursued to the left. Lou saw it. He broke it back right. And you don't need a ton of speed when you got the break on that and everyone's over pursuing. Cadillac for their first touchdown. That might be the momentum right there, John, that just gets us rolling.
Well, we've scored a lot of touchdowns this year. We've put up as many points as teams that I've ever seen. That may be the biggest touchdown this far in the season. The biggest one as far as the game goes, to get on the board first and to make just a little bit of a statement and go up by a touchdown here early. That's a big thing for the Vikes.
So Andrew Remington set for the point after attempt. Lewis Finch is going to hold it. The snap is good. The hold's good. The point after attempt is good. And Cadillac with a 7-0 lead with 9:33 left in the second quarter. And it just comes down to expectations. And I hate to say it. I said it to Eric Runstrom before the game that, Cadillac is going on 18-0 in the regular season, and we got 700 people here. You freaking kidding me? I mean, really?
Well, the stands have filled up a little bit, at least. Yeah, there's still some sparsity down there.
Standing room only in this place.
I'm not sure how much better you can do than 8-0 going into your last game. You're going to play a Traverse City Central team, which, let's face it, we don't like them very much. They don't like us very much, and to play in the last game of the year for the league championship, I'm not sure why you can fit any more souls here in the building than you can, but it is what it is, and the ones who are here are excited, and it's a big crowd. It's just not the biggest crowd, and you would expect more for a team that's 8-0, that's as exciting and entertaining to watch as these guys are too. I mean, let's face it, we're not talking about a team that's Petoskey where you run a double wing and it's like pulling teeth to watch them go up and down the field and hope to score 14 to 17 points in a game. This team puts up points. I mean, they're exciting. They cause turnovers on the defensive side. They're good kids, and so yeah, I would hope that if we are lucky enough to get a few playoff games, that we just absolutely pack this place out.
Yeah, Grand Valley can get 19,000 people, and they're 3-5.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Come on, man.
we gotta give away free hot dogs or something. I don't know.
So Andrew Remington's kick in the
Love
light,
the height.
coming
Nice
down.
Kick. Nice job.
Puts it in the end zone. So there's the maturity of a senior starting to grow into his own, who took on actually Andrew Remington basketball, went to Lawrence Tech University. So congratulations, Dad. He committed for basketball. It's got to be an exciting time, even though we're not finished with football, but
yeah, it's football season, but it is an exciting time for him, and looking forward to basketball. But right now, it's just all it's 100% focus and concentration on the football field and what's going on with his senior brethren here on the field, which has just been a great thing. And being up 7-0 is huge.
So we're up 7-0. They're in shotgun formation. Ace back, hand off to Shepperly.
Nice job in the interior line.
Nice job. Yep, the defensive line is doing a good job of controlling the pace of this game. Offensive line really has not had too big a push or too big a say so far.
Does that surprise you? I mean, I've seen our teams play in the past. We've drugged guys on the field named Riley Norman and Jack Ford, and guys that are just massive.
Well,
and I've seen holes, and this year it's just crazy. It just seems like between the tackles, these guys have there's been nothing there.
I think it's discipline.
Yeah.
I really do. Durga isn't going to get pushed around if he's disciplined enough to stay in his gap. Neither is Sam Denman, who's an ultimate team player, right? Connor Kasuba was the same way.
Yeah,
he just did his job, right?
You're right. You're right. Undersized. Connor was the same way, where he never gave much up.
Yeah, they just stay in their gap, and right there, the line doesn't over pursue one or two guys. The other ones scrape. The defensive backs do their job. They're just smart.
Yeah.
And so when you start getting into smart teams, and you start getting into smart players knowing, you know what, I don't have to make a play. I just got to do my job.
Yep.
I think that's what you see on that defensive line. You see that from Durga. You see that from Smaker. You see that from Michael Holdship, who does make plays. Cody Lux is just one of those guys that just does his job. He scrapes the line. He stays. He doesn't over pursue.
Yep.
And then we got good linebackers, and you got one of the best safeties in the league, and you got good corners, and
that focus for these guys needs to be there every single down. It seems like, oh, Johnny Alberts, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Johnny Alberts, you're my huckleberry, buddy. Nice job.
So he comes off that.
Wow.
He gets blocked out there on the edge. He fights it off, and
you want to talk about a kid who's come a distance in the last few years as far as a football player goes. You talked about it, I think, in the beginning of the year about that defensive back. Who's the corner that's going to step up and be what Aaron Wilkinson and Tommy Cathan and those guys that have gone before him and done that same thing, where you're going to specialize. You're going to become what it is that your football team needs. And
to get on the field.
And I'll tell you something else about Johnny Alberts that surprised me was having conversations with these guys a little bit. Who's the fastest player on your team? It's Johnny Alberts. When they run sprints and they're timed and things, Johnny Alberts the fastest football player on this team with pads on, with shoulder pads and stuff. And I just wouldn't have guessed that. There's a lot of names that I would have thought of before him. But nice job by him to just commit to finding a way to get himself on the football field and contribute to a team and become a heck of a defensive back. And he's done that. That play right there just shows a ton of maturity. Take on a block like that. And then go make a tackle on somebody in the backfield. Just phenomenal. Nice job.
Yeah, and you probably know something a little bit about that. When people start talking about how fast a kid is, even on the basketball court to the football field, there's a difference between court speed, by being able to read things, and then pad speed. You can be a 4-flat 40 guy, but be a 6-flat in pads.
Oh,
you just don't carry
There's a lot of
4-flat
40 guys who can't play college football and certainly can't play in the NFL. Yeah,
can they carry
your pads?
Yep.
And and can you make athletic moves with it? I mean, until the officials start coming out with stopwatches, I mean, the speed thing doesn't really make much difference on the scoreboard. But if you can turn that into some athleticism and make plays, then it becomes huge.
So, all right, Traverse City Central's forced to
we
punt.
might have got a hand on that.
We might have, but it's going to be out at about the 41-yard line where Cadillac will take over 1st and 10. Deep in Traverse City Central territory, so the Johnny Albert stop proved pretty costly.
Oh, I look at his teammates. I don't know if you can get the camera on that. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Do you think they don't understand football and appreciate a defensive play? Look at that. Oh, I tell you what, that chokes me up. I mean, you'd think that he just went out and ran for 104 yards and put the ball in the end zone. A nice defensive stop. His players, his teammates know it. They love it. They congratulate him. These guys really like each other. It's a cool thing.
Yep, and that's heart of a program. And Lewis Finch off that right side. He's got a little seam. Nice job out there by Sam Denman and Zeb Broersma, who actually sealed, but Michael Holdship led block. And then you got Ellens on the edge blocking for Lewis Finch. Picks up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Cadillac Vikings, and they're in business at the 35-yard line.
Momentum is definitely on the side of the Vikings right now. They can sniff it a little bit. I mean, it's way too early. This game is going to be decided certainly until the 4th quarter and probably when the final second ticks off. But these guys can sense that there's a little something that they can make hay with right now, and they're 35 yards again away from pay dirt.
So, all right, Lewis Finch back to pass. He's got Ethan Myers deep. He's got 33. Holdship out
nice
there in
cut.
the flat.
Oh,
And Michael just could not come up with it. Lou threw it a little short. That is tough for a linebacker slash defensive lineman slash fullback to go to his knees backwards. And Lou probably wished he'd have had a little more air under it. But
a couple more inches of the pass, and Michael wishes he'd be able to go down a couple more inches and get it. It was a nice little loft over. Everybody was so concentrated on Ethan, who was about 10 yards maybe behind Michael Holdship on that play and had 2 or 3 defenders all around him, and Michael was open. Yeah, you put so much pressure on the defense when you got Lou, who can actually scramble out of that as well. Yep. And that's something Cadillac's had the last 6 years, be able to scramble a quarterback out, still have good receivers. And third down, third and 6, third and 5.
So you got a bunch up top, 3 up top, 2 down low. Lewis Finch in that delayed draw. Going to pick up maybe about 3 yards, bring up 3rd and 4th and short. This is 4th down territory for Cadillac.
Oh, no question about it. I think once you get across the 25-yard line for Coach,
this is a 50-yarder. No, he's not. Andrew's got the leg for it.
Yeah, not
with the win.
I think if he maybe 10 more yards, about a 42-yarder or so, they'd probably.
He had a 52-yarder at homecoming.
Yep. Definitely was long enough. He's got the leg for it, but it's just not a high percentage kick situation. I think if you look at percentages, 4th and 3, I'd take my chances with our offense too. So we got a pistol left, and I think T.J. Baker's going to come in motion. Lewis Finch is going to run this ball around the left side. The more peep half to 73. Wow. Face mask. Did he have his hand on his face?
73. I tell you, he fought that off. That was a nice play by Seth Tice, the senior. Holy camole. He bull rushed. He picked right. We went left. It was a predictable play. I knew what they were doing, and I have a feeling TC Central knew what they were doing too. And Seth Tice just made a play. Yep.
Coach Webb is talking. I'm not sure who the official is down his side down there, but he's talking about how Lou's head got turned a little bit, but it was just a great defensive play by the young man from Traverse City, and you can't take that away from him, whether he got his hands up too high or not. It's immaterial. Nice play. So all right, they come out in a spread package. Looks like they got Joe Shepperly protecting his side, 11. Nothing. He's not a very accurate passer, I can tell right away. I think he's a little undersized at quarterback, Sean Williams. He's a senior. I think he's probably only 5'9", if I had to guess. I don't know. It's just that out pattern's tough. Jake Ellens, I've seen him go pick for 6 on that pattern before. The thing that Traverse City Central has always seemed to be able to beat us on in the years when they've beat us, running the ball and running it, and beating us to the edges on the outside, and you can just tell from jets, all kinds of little bubble screens and the wheel routes, things like that, and this team is just not real susceptible to that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that they've beat Cadillac on in the past. There's just nothing there against us. There's just a different element of speed on the outsides. And that Ethan Myers? Yeah, Ethan Myers looks like maybe he got a little bit chop block there. Coach Baker lower body injury, I think, on Ethan. Guys are giving, I'm not sure if that's Billy Shoes or who the official is, but Todd Baker's definitely given his opinion on the way that went down. And
Well, it might have been a crack block, too, coming back off that receiver slot position.
Real possible.
Because he's the outside linebacker, so he might have got cracked out there. I'd have to go back to tape to look at it, but that's kind of the area and the, we'll see. But it's a brutal game.
It is a brutal game. Let's give it again to the defense on our side of the football. That's just, I mean, there's not been much there for Traverse City so far, and Traverse City seems to have a few kids with that type of speed where any given play, I mean, they can take the thing to the house. So it's like our margin for error without the typical size up front and all those things and just a real burner at a safety or something isn't huge. We've got to be really good on every single down, and hopefully we are able to continue to do that. And so far we have. Third down and call it 11.5 yards.
Yeah, so they go trips down low. They got a guy out in the flat. It's short again, but he's not going to. It's going to hit the ground. So
4th and 11.
Yeah, it's just if they're not going to be able to pass efficiently, they're going to have to rely on the run. And I tell you, I think you can run on Cadillac. I think it's tougher to pass on Cadillac because of our speed out of our linebacker position. But teams decide they want to put the ball in the air and.
Yep. Nate Hauk's going to be back to be a receiver on this punt instead of Ethan Myers, who was shaken up on that last play. And yeah, let's see if maybe we can get something out of a punt return game here, because you got guys with talent back there, as you said. We're either scary. It seems like we're always either fair catching it or letting the thing bounce.
Pick it up and go. Pick it up and go.
We're going to let it bounce again. Now that one was a short one. Not much you can do with that, but
yep.
Yeah, a concerted effort to try to come in and take advantage of some of those things. I mean, you'd think we'd be able to get 10 or 12 more yards out of it. But, hey, we're 8-0. I'm not going to complain about our starting field position on these things.
But I'll tell you, last year when we went to Comstock Park, the difference in that game when we started coming back was those couple punt returns by Patrick Briggs, who picked the ball up and made those 15 yards.
Yep.
It just really turns momentum when you can pick the ball up.
Oh, yeah.
If he can get back to the 45 or the 40, that just gives your offense a lift, knowing,
if you
hey,
can flip the field without having your offense on the field, there's no question that becomes a huge thing as the playoffs go and you get deeper into them, and you're playing teams where every little play is so magnified.
Special teams are going to be huge.
Yep.
So 5 receivers set. Lewis Finch back to pass out to Michael Holdship. The Battleship catches it for about a 10-yard gain before he's hauled down there across the 45 to the 47. It will be 1st and 10 with 5:45 and counting. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead on the Traverse City Central Trojans for the Big North Outright Conference Championship tonight here on Memorial Turf. And 2 years in a row, something special, something that hasn't been done in many years, but we're looking for 7 straight playoffs.
I'll tell you something else. If you're a college football scout or coach that happens to ever get their hands on this thing before Michael's had a chance to figure out what he's going to do, stuff like, if you're going to be that versatile as a player, you can be a running back, you can be a down lineman on defense, and now you can catch the football in space and make things happen with it. And that kid can play. He's got the nice job, Lou. Picked up the first down. That kid can play, Michael Holdship I'm talking about, and he can play because of his size, because of his speed, because of his strength, and because of his versatility and being able to do all those things that he can do. There's not really anything that is a glaring weakness in Michael Holdship's game. He's a tough runner. He'll carry you 5 yards. He can dance a little bit. He can do a lot of things. I can see him fit nicely into a lot of the programs that are certainly here in Michigan, if not in the Midwest.
I had the talk today with recruiting coordinator from Ferris State.
Nobody covering down here, but we didn't get there fast.
So hand out to Nate Hauk, a little scat back. He's going to cut back. Oh, they're going to capture him out there. He's not going to come down from that. Nice pursuit by the Traverse City Central Trojans. And Nate, he tried to make something out of nothing. He was one tackle away from, picking up positive yardage, but number 2 out there for Traverse City, Daniel Yonker, outside linebacker.
Yep. We need to be faster to recognize an uncovered receiver on the outside. That time Ethan was down there pounding on his helmet. I think it was Ethan, might have been Jake on this low side. And there was nobody that was covering him up. And
Zorro.
Yeah, Zorro, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just a quick snap, and I don't know what it would be, a tap on Zeb's butt or on Matt Meyer's butt to be able to make that snap and get that thing out there. But again, we're already set at the line of scrimmage, and he's not covered up. It just takes him a long time, and you got to make teams pay for that.
And it looks
now
like
we're going to get a delay a game, or we're going to have to call a timeout.
We're going to call a timeout, Cadillac. So no problem. Cadillac's up 7-0 with 4 minutes left in this game. But what I was saying was, Michael Holdship, you were talking about that. I talked to the recruiting coordinator from Ferris just today. He texted me and says, hey, Cadillac's 8-0. Who should I be looking at? And, Jalen, my son's obviously already gave him names, but Michael Holtship's definitely on the radar. There's other kids here. Smaker's on the radar. He's one of those kids that could blossom into something special, especially with, just a focus on a single sport. And,
no question.
When you start looking at Cadillac over the last few years, it really surprises me how few football players actually come from Cadillac, considering the talent pool that we've had. We should be putting 4 to 5 kids every year, if they want to, into a program. And for some reason we don't. And I don't know if it's Northern Michigan or if kids just don't think, well, I'm not that good. But Ethan Myers could play college ball. Jake Ellens could play college ball.
Jake Ellens could
Zip
be a defensive
Roersma could play college ball. You have 5 or 6 kids on this team I know right now that could play some level of college ball. And what is it? Is it just?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I know. I mean, there's such a cesspool of talent and conglomeration of schools in the bigger towns downstate, and they tend to get to all of those type of exposure camps and recruiting camps and things like that. But there's no question that these guys in front of us can play at a higher level. The names that you just mentioned, for sure.
So all right, Traverse City Central does a nice job covering up the pass. Lewis Finch has to scramble, picks up maybe about a couple yards after that penalty. They'll bring up, or that loss of yardage, the play before, bring up 3rd and 17, and a long play for Cadillac, where now I think you're just looking for either a bubble screen, maybe a double pass. We've seen that before.
Well,
or, you're just looking for a pass interference.
You're going to do something to get in the hands of one of your real talented guys. Look at how long they've taken. They're still uncovered. These guys are still uncovered out here.
What's going on?
Oh, my gosh. I'm not sure.
Illegal procedure?
I don't know, but if I'm in the booth next door and I've got one of those coaches on the sidelines with a headset on, I'm just screaming to them, just tell your guys to go snap the ball, chuck the thing out. It's 3 plays in a row.
It's taken Traverse City Central quite a while to get into their defensive set. And
they have a real, Traverse City Central is real methodical about where they put their defensive backs for whatever. I don't know if they want matchup situations. I'm sure they do, with depending on where our personnel is, but they're real slow to get there.
But you want to cover them. I mean,
I would think that that's part of the plan. 3rd and forever now, 3rd and 25.
So, all right, Lewis Finch back to pass. He's going to go deep. Across the middle, picked off. Oh, almost caught by Ethan Myers through his hands.
Well,
Traverse City Central should have been going the other way on a dead sprint. It went through his hands. Ethan Myers had the opportunity. I was a little fast on the gun. I went by it, but
Ethan was open early, and had Lou pulled the trigger earlier on that.
Put a lot of air under that.
Yeah, he waited a little bit, and then by the time it eventually happened, it was already deflected and long gone. But
well, the one thing I do say is Cadillac's offense. Traverse City's defense is probably one of the stoutest defense we've seen so far outside of Gaylord's. So it's a good matchup, but I just haven't seen anything from Traverse City's offense that scares me.
Well, not yet, but that stuff can change in a heartbeat. One, if we call a slant left and they happen to pick it apart correctly, and they've got some kids that can get some space and speed. So a 7-point lead to me right now is tenuous at best, and I just, I'm not in the same camp with you that their defense has been overwhelming. I think we've shot ourselves in the foot about 4 times here in the last 2 series. And,
I'm doing that for the guy next to me.
Well, I mean, we've got good field position. We've got guys in space. Lewis hasn't been under just so much duress that he can't see what he's able to do.
Yeah.
We just got to make some plays. And
so here comes Ethan Campbell off the right side. We got pursuit 44, and I tell you, the team
Hunter
speed.
Smaker and
Hunter Smaker, but I tell you, Keenan Cooper's the one that turned everything back to the pursuit. Smaker ran down the line. Keenan Cooper came in from that outside linebacker position. You're going to have to go north and south on us. You're not going east and west. We're going to force you right out of bounds with our speed, and they're going to have to make that adjustment at halftime.
Just such a weird thing that football is. That play, you see that play develop, and you think that could go for 8 yards.
It's just we got so much speed.
4-yard loss. I mean, just by a couple of guys really knifing through and getting good angles and shucking blocks.
So all right, here we go. Number 11 back to pass. Maker on the backside. He's got a receiver out there, and it's just the accuracy is just a little off. It's going to bring up 3rd and 14 for the Traverse City Central Trojans. Boy, could you imagine if they had a quarterback that was, just accurate? he's had some receivers open. He's just, he's throwing it short, he's throwing it long.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have taken a nice throw and a nice catch, and they still would have had a 3rd and 5. As it is, it's 3rd and 14.
So Joe Shepperly down in the 3-point stance, quarterback shotgun formation. Joe's going to protect. There he is, the out pass to Joe Shepperly up the field. He goes.
Man, this is the discipline. You hit it right on the head. Our guys are really disciplined on the outside. I think that was Keenan again on the outside, who just stood there like a man and said, you're not going to get outside me, and you're going to have to turn it up, and I know my guys are coming. And Cadillac does such a nice job of gang tackling, swarming to the football after our outside guys turn it in. Nice job again by Coach Baker's Cadillac Viking defense.
All right, that forces a punt from Traverse City Central. 4th and 8 with 1:36 left in the half. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead. Again, you're with CCTV. Jeff Brooks, John Emmington. We're calling the game tonight here at Memorial Stadium in Cadillac next to the lake. Beautiful night, probably 50 degrees.
They
got it.
And they're going to throw a flag on that after he dropped it? You got to be kidding me.
They didn't touch the ball.
There is no chance.
They didn't touch the ball, and if you don't touch the ball, it's a roughing. I don't think it's a
no,
I think is it a 15-yard or is it a 5-yard? When you're just running in, there's a difference between running the kicker and roughing him.
He dropped the football. It better be a 5-yard penalty. If they're going to call that as a personal foul, that's just ridiculous.
I think it's running into the. I don't know. It's one of those calls where
it's got that rule needs to become like a deflected pass.
You got to touch the football, though. That's been the rule from day one. What do we got here?
5-yard penalty running into, so they're going to either have to re-kick it or they may decide to go for it. It's going to bring up a 4th down on about 2.
They're going to actually decline it because it is a running into the kicker.
And they like
there's a big difference between running in and roughing them, and that was definitely a run-in.
Ball hits the turf like that, and it's out of their hands. It should be free game.
It's like a point after attempt. If the ball hits the turf and he fumbles it, that holder's free game, man.
Yeah, no doubt. You never see roughing the holder called, do you?
I don't know.
Please.
So all right, Cadillac will have 1:14 left in this half. They're up 7. I'm not quite sure who gets the ball first. Who kicked off?
Cadillac. We deferred, so we'll get the ball.
So spread package, 3 up top, 2 down low. Lewis Finch showing
TJ
himself.
And Michael down here.
Oh, we got 2 guys in motion. You can't do that. You can't do that. That was a Petoskey move last year. 2 guys in motion. That's a penalty. That'll stop the clock for a 5-yard legal procedure. I think Michael's going to get a talking to now. Let's get this on camera. He's the whipping boy for tonight.
That's stuff that's just absolutely got to get cleaned up. And
it's
week 9. It's week 9.
Dude,
you got to understand.
You can't believe the stuff I watched.
I know. But if you want to make a deep run in the playoffs, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. Good teams are going to take that and just pulverize you.
Yep. I'm watching snaps over the quarterback head in week 9. Like you can't spend 15 minutes a day snapping the ball. So Lewis Finch back to pass.
Oh, he had Nader early.
Yep, he doesn't have much now. You better unleash the ball. He's going to get drilled, and he's going to end up. Yeah, that's a hit I don't want to see Lou take. Just get rid of the ball. I know he tried to extend it. There was nothing there. I don't want to see him take any more hits than he has to take. Either get up the field on the run out of bounds, or get rid of the ball.
He had Nate Houck in the seam early. It looked like Nate's prescribed pattern was kind of a stop and go. Had Nate been able to just sit where he was originally open and Lou found him, they had picked up probably 8-9 yards and been able to have a manageable set of downs after that. But once Lou scrambled out, I think Jake Ellens needs to make a little more concerted effort to come back and get himself,
come back hard.
Yeah, you got to get yourself unguarded. You just got to come back and get some eye contact with the quarterback.
So Lewis Finch rolling left. He's a lefty. He's out to pass. Oh, a little bit high. Number 5 was there. Might be a situation where, boy, I don't know. I don't know if I like this. You got Traverse City Central with 2 timeouts left, 42 seconds left in the game. You're going to pin us deep. You might want that clock to run right now because they're going to get the ball inside our 50 with 30 seconds to work with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, those are situations where the clock was low and ticking before halftime, but
now
we went to
some
real wild spread and throw kind of stuff a little bit early in that. Took the ball kind of out of Michael's hands.
Lewis Finch on a delayed draw to Nate Houck. He's going to run. He's going to lose yardage there. It's going to be at the 5-yard line. They're going to call a timeout if they were smart, and they do. 35 seconds left before half. They're going to call a timeout. Cadillac's going to be on their own 4.
Nothing that happened there is a good series. Started with the penalty. The initial penalty just kills you, and just takes all the momentum that you got from getting the ball back. And
so now if they get a good run back, which Michael had a poor punt last time, which he's usually been a pretty stellar punter most of the season and pretty consistent. They're going to get this ball back inside our 50 for sure, and it might be inside the 40 depending on how much pressure they get. And I don't know. Usually Traverse City has pretty good field goal kickers because they're soccer players. They might be able to put up 3 points. They got a timeout. Heck, they might move the ball 10 or 15 yards and. We'll see what happens, but the Cadillac Vikings defense has been strong all year. They haven't given up a ton of points, and
no, they haven't. But in these situations, I mean, it's like the defense. You can almost throw it out the window because it's going to be some type of a prevent set where you're going to give up some stuff underneath, and you're probably only going to commit three guys, maybe 4, to any kind of a rush situation, and so it's not your normal defense that's out there. And if you got some speedy receivers and somebody happens to make a break, I mean, you become kind of vulnerable. That was not a good series for the Vikings for sure.
So, all right, Michael holds it back to punt. It's going to be returnable. Oh, he fell down. We got lucky there. He fell down. He's going to pick it up at the 40-yard line. Oh, and he's going to be 32. He's got some room. He's going to finally be hauled down there at the 50. But, man, he would have been inside our 35 if he wouldn't have fell down. But that grass caused him some problems.
Well, and the clock was ticking the whole time, too, so that didn't hurt. Down to 21.2 seconds to go, and he's at midfield instead of, like you said, at the 35 or so with 30 seconds to go.
He would have been at the 35, too, if he'd have picked that up, because he'd have picked that up at the 50, and he had 20 yards before anybody, and with that type of speed. So Traverse City Central is going to take over 1st and 10 with 21.2 seconds left in the half. Cadillac up 7-0. The Cadillac defense are going to go 4 deep. They're going to be in a prevent. They're going to give up 20 yards before they really have to come up and play. And we'll see what Traverse City Central has. They're going to a shotgun formation, 3-back set, 8 yards off. They're going to pitch out, double reverse here. Here's 33. Long developing play. Cooper got smoked out there. 33 still on his feet, doesn't get out of bounds. They're going to have to call a timeout, but maybe a first down for. They're going to stop the clock for a first down.
They're going to have to measure it or move the chains, one or the other. He's pretty close to the first down.
That's a tough play to call when you got four DBs 20 yards deep.
Yep.
It's a 10, 15-yard play. You're going to have to hit something across the seam now. You're going to have to go across the middle because you still have a timeout. It's going to be a quick hitter to a tight end or a slant pattern, if I had to guess, for 10, 15 yards because they're going to give you 10, 15 yards. Linebackers aren't going to allow anything underneath. So we'll see what Passanal has to say about it.
It's going to take a little bit of time to try to figure out what he wants to do.
He's going to take a timeout. Wow. That means he's just playing for the end zone now. I mean, otherwise he's going to have to go to corner.
They want 12 back on the clock, and they'll get that put back on there. And so Cadillac here in the prevent situation is just going to have to keep guys in front of them and try to tackle them in bounds and get this thing into halftime with a 7-point lead is what they're hoping for now. And I don't think they're going to be happy with that, even if they do that. It's been one of those things that you didn't want to see. You didn't want to shoot yourself in the foot. And you didn't want to be the team that stopped themselves. And here in the first half, we've had a lot of opportunities. We've had a lot of short fields and haven't been able to convert those things into points. Coach Webb's not going to be happy about that. Coach Baker is going to be happy with his defense. They've done everything that they've asked to do, that they've ever been asked to do.
But John, the resolve of Cadillac. I mean, a lot of these kids play basketball. You can go down there right now and talk about 4 or 5 kids right now that have come through the basketball program. The resolve that these kids have had, and the situations and the big games that these guys have played in the last 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. You can go back to district championships from last year to football and basketball regional championships, quarterfinals. These kids seen a lot bigger games than this. And,
there's
but the
no question.
resolve that they have and the composure that they have is really what wins these games. And I just
I think so.
I don't feel any type of
right. I don't think there's any
intensity
angst
from them,
down there, but it's none of those guys are going to be happy. Lewis Finch probably going to be the first one in the locker room to say, that wasn't my best half of football. It could be just because there wasn't a lot of great execution offensively, and they hold themselves to really high standards, and those guys will take care of their stuff on their own in that locker room, and they're not going to be any finger pointing or blaming for what's going on or not going on.
Their demeanor is.
Oh yeah, they expect to do well and play well and execute, and they're up 7-0 on a really good football team. That's still going to be a positive thing, but they know they can execute better, and that's what they're going to look to do in the second half, I would guess. 8 seconds to go.
So 8 seconds to go, pistol formation. Campbell's going to protect. Quarterback's out there throwing. He just doesn't throw the ball real well.
It just looks like everything is so difficult for them, for their receivers. And that's the frustrating thing for me offensively is I know that Coach Webb knows that there's a lot of stuff that we can do and do effectively against their defense. And we've kind of fallen into this thing in the last few series where we're going to spread you out. We're going to try to become a rollout, one-dimensional throwing football team, and we were too easy to cover up. And now we got okay, here's Jake.
4 deep. A little draw play to Campbell. He's going to pick up about 20 yards, but that'll be about it, and that'll end the half. So a little bit of damage, nothing done. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead at halftime here. Last game of the regular season in Cadillac. Big North Conference championship outright for Jim Webb and Todd Baker and the Cadillac Vikings. And, John, really it was like I said, there's nothing in the team in white that caused me concern offensively, especially with a quarterback that just really is not consistent. I don't know if he's completed a pass tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely had some difficulties connecting with those guys, and those guys look like they're having to break off their routes and get to the outside, and everything just looks really tough for them, and you got to credit our defense for that. I would say if I was to make any observations based on what I thought I would see coming in and what I actually saw, I don't think Traverse City Central is quite as offensively potent as I would have expected them to be, or else our defense has just been that good tonight, because it just looks like they've got nothing going on offensively that would cause you great concern and say, wow, we just can't stop this guy or that guy. So, the Traverse City kid who was interviewed on the news the other night, I mean, he said it best. This isn't a game that either team needs to win. It's a team that both teams want to win, and whoever wants to win it more is probably going to do that. And, I'm not sure in the first half that is clear to me who wants to win it more, because Cadillac, although they are up 7-0, I think that they feel like in the locker room they're probably 20 points better than this team, should be in here with at least a 2-touchdown, if not 3-touchdown lead. And they're not, and it hasn't been anything that Traverse City didn't dial up any crazy blitz packages that we just didn't know how to block, and it was just stuff on our side.
But it's nothing we haven't seen before. We saw it last year too.
No, and hey, man, if we're going to sit here in Game 9 with a chance to go 9-0 and we're up at halftime, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer that sits here and tries to pick everything apart. But I just know the standard that these guys have come to accept, and that wasn't it in the first half for the most part. I mean, I think the first quarter was really good. That offensive drive that we had where we ended up punching in, it was fantastic. But outside of that, we've had 3 or 4 drives that have just not been Cadillac football-like.
So, all right, at the half, you've heard it, CCTV, Jeff Brooks, John Emmington. We are up 7-0, looking for that Big North Conference championship for the second straight year outright. We'll be right back after these messages. John Emmington, Cadillac with a 7-0 lead here late in October. The Big North Conference Championship on the line here tonight. 2 straight years outright for Cadillac. I don't know how many years it's been, John, but it's been a long time. I think the 6th or 7th straight postseason appearance for Cadillac as well. They are leading the Traverse City Central Trojans 7-0. But, really, what really got Cadillac to this point, in my mind, outside of the arm of Lewis Finch, but it was all set up by the running game of Cadillac prides himself. They got 4 really good backs, including your quarterback. that just sets up everything because you force those linebackers to respect the inside run of Michael Holdship and Nate Houck on the edge. And Keenan Cooper, I haven't seen, right now Cadillac has 70 yards rushing, which really affects your passing game. And I think if we just get back to old school Cadillac, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, and it's not, I don't want to oversimplify it and just say, well, you can just run the ball all the time and that makes everything turn out okay. But certainly with the stuff that happened in the last few series there is not typical of Cadillac, where it just looks like we're going to send guys in kind of deep out patterns, and you have two guys in motion that start a huge series off with a penalty to put you back right away, and to have the ball in the field position as many times as we had it in the first half and not capitalize on those opportunities. Those are all things that are just things that aren't going to get you very deep in the playoff run, which starts next week. Regardless of what happens here in the second half, the game we play next Friday or Saturday is going to require a little bit more attention to detail and a little bit better execution, and the one after that, if we're lucky to move on, is going to require more and more of that. So that's what you look for this time of year. It just seems to me that our team, we executed really, really well in the beginning of the year, and that is what kind of put us in that spot where we went on that undefeated run and maybe beat some teams that were surprised to be beat, or to be beaten at least as badly as Cadillac was able to take care of them. And then teams start to see that on film, and so they see what you do, and it makes it tougher every single week to be able to perform at that type of a level. But that's not what's beating it. We're not getting beat because we're getting out game planned. And we're not getting beat at all. We're up 7-0, but we haven't put the ball in the end zone a lot, and it's been no more and no less than just offensive efficiency and execution, and that's what I look forward to seeing in the second half. Are we able to clean that stuff up? And you got a bunch of seniors on that side of the football who've played together for, we were listening to that at the beginning of the game when they were introducing those guys. 10 years, 11 years, these guys have been playing together. They know each other inside and out. They trust each other. They like each other. They hold each other accountable. They don't want to see an undefeated season that's within their grasp be lost because of their lack of focus, even if just on one snap. You don't want to be the guy that jumps off sides. You just don't want to do that to your teammate. And I think that's I'm hoping that that's what really rises up here in the second half, is that these guys just sniff a chance to do something really, really special in the history of Cadillac regular season football and go seize that opportunity.
So, all right, we're going to get ready for the second half here. Cadillac will be receiving. It's just getting back to the basics, getting back to, your defense controlling the game, your offense just doing what it needs to do to put points on the board. And, I think Cadillac will do that here before the end of the night. Cadillac leading 7-0 with 24 minutes left to play to decide who is the Big North Conference Championship. Will it be a tie with Traverse City Central and Cadillac, or will Cadillac win it outright for the second straight year? And it will rely on the young men, 18 and 19-year-old kids. It grows a lot of gray hairs, but it's a lot easier to play the game than it is to coach it and watch it.
Yeah, no question about it. You can't affect a whole lot from up here, and you can't affect a whole lot from on the sidelines. But if I'm going to put my marbles in anybody's corner, I'll put it in the corner of these seniors that are standing out there for their last regular season game here at Memorial Stadium.
So, all right, the kickoff to start the second half will be to the right side, where Ethan Myers will be picking it up at about the 5-yard line. He's going to bring it across. Nice open field tackle there just across the 20 down to the 24, where Cadillac will take over first and 10. And Jim Webb, Viking offense led by Lewis Finch, will come onto the field to see what kind of adjustments we've made at half. And I'd like to see a little bit heavier dose of north and south running, some option. I really haven't seen a lot of the jet play. We've only seen it once or twice. I haven't seen T.J. Baker get involved at all from the tight end position, that little flat pass or that little drag pass. And
it seems like all of our series have just been kind of cut short and stubbed up a little bit, and we haven't been able to really get deep into our offensive game. Here's Lou.
So Lewis Finch is going to take it off that right side after fake handoff. He's going to pick up a gain of about 11. It'll be first and 10 for the Cadillac at the 35-yard line, so there's a nice pickup for the Cadillac Vikings to start the second half.
Yeah, Lou gets all 10, gets a first down, gets us into that, starting to approach that sweet spot of the field where you get between the 40s, and then you just really feel like it's all downhill from there.
All right, so two-back set, shotgun formation, two receiver set, one up high. Jake Owens, one down low. At the bottom of your screen is Ethan Myers. Hand off to Michael Holdship, the battleship off that right side. Nice job by 73 there. That left defensive tackle for Traverse City Central.
He's a big kid, isn't
Seth Tice, yes he is. He's a nice player for Traverse City. And
same player that made that nice tackle on Lewis in the backfield in the first half. Might have had his hand on his face mask on that one, but yeah, Seth Tice is he doesn't look like anything but a football player down there, does he, number 73?
Yeah, you put the pads on, he's all football player.
Oh, baby.
He reminds me a lot of Nate Pupil, too.
Yep.
Derek Diver from Traverse City West.
Here we are unguarded
ago.
again. Snap, throw, touchdown.
He was all football player as well. So, all right, Lewis Finch, two-back set, two receiver set. Oh, thought we went. Lewis Finch going to take it up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 yards, what he can. He turned it up instead of stayed with Cooper on that wide side. And it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Vikings. I like to see him kind of let that play develop. Sam Denman was pulling on that, so was Matt Myers. Lou thought he had, I tell you, Traverse City Central,
they close a little.
They flow, and their backside linebacker does a real good job of staying home. And Lou, he sees it, then all of a sudden it's just not there. He closes it real quick. So
yep, they've got some collective team speed, no doubt, and they've got some size. They move around well on defense, disguise their stunts.
Lewis Finch back to pass. Oh, and it's going to hit the ground. It's going to be a dirt ball. Lou had him, too. It was a nice comeback route by Jake Owens. Nothing going on. I'll bring up 4th and 5, and Cadillac's going to punt.
I think if you added up all of our punts for the season, may not add up to as many as we've had to try to kick away here tonight. Or at least it seems that way. This may only be our 3rd punt or something, but it just seems like every single series we're getting ourselves in 4th down situations where we don't have any choice.
The defensive line for Traverse City Central is pretty stout. I've been impressed with them. They got some nice linebackers, too. Shepperley is just, he's all over the field as well. So their front 5 is as good as we've seen. Michael Holdship is going to punt the ball away. Nice punt again. It's going to be a returnable. And I think that's Schwaneke. Blocking the back people wanted. But 23, Tanner Schwaneke, his older brother TJ was a heck of an athlete. He's back as well, and he returns that punt for about 5 yards. Traverse City Central will take over 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And, talking about this game, giving some of those guys earlier in the week and talking about what's the game plan, what's the real key. And I think the thing that stood out more than anything else was toughness. Who was gonna be tougher and more physical on the football field, and that's been a pretty even battle tonight. I'm with you. I'm impressed with Traverse City Central's ability to just make sticks and to make plays, even at times where it doesn't look like there's a whole lot there for them defensively. Just one guy will come through, rip through the line, and make a good tough play. Or right there, they're going to lay the wood on you. They're going to take every chance they get to stick their shoulder pads on you and make you remember that you were hit for sure.
The one thing that is riding on this game tonight is, obviously Cadillac's going to have 2 home games no matter what. They might get a 3rd home game if they beat Traverse City with all the extra points they get from the wins that Traverse City has gained over the course of this year, plus the points for being a Class A team. This win bodes really high as far as point total, because I know they're fighting right now with Lansing Sexton, who's going to probably be in our region. And or Lowell if they come down to Division 4.
Right.
These playoff points, they could go over 120, which is huge.
Yep.
So,
yeah, those are the unknowns. You don't know going in how big it could be, because you don't know all those other things that are going to happen tonight. But you definitely want to take as many playoff points in the next week as possible.
Nice hard run by Shepperley there. See, that's the secret to success that a lot of teams just have not understood is just if they can just stay pounding the ball. A lot of teams against us, they want to challenge us, and we're just up to the challenge because we got so many athletes. And this is a grinder game, and I still think Cadillac has more athletes, but they can wear you down because we got a lot of two-way players.
Yeah, I think both of those last 2 plays from scrimmage for Traverse City have kind of been full spin, counteraction type power runs, and here's another one.
Yep, 4 yards at a crack. They'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Traverse City Trojans.
Just looks like their running backs have caught taken the handoff a little more downhill than they did in the first half, and
they got some big boys on that offensive line. 72's nice size, Ben Sherwin. And I just don't think that quarterback's a danger to really hurt us with his arm. I think the running game's probably going to hurt us more than the passing game. They're almost at midfield, 47-yard line of their own. It's a full house formation, handoff to Ethan Campbell. Again, they're getting a good push out there with the offensive line. They're, you know, it didn't look like a whole lot there. They still got 2 yards.
Yeah, that time the linebackers came up a little faster. It was a nice job of.
Yep, nice push though. Big 3rd and 5 for the Traverse City Trojans. Big down here for Cadillac.
Not sure if that might have been Dominic Cataldo that came up. Could have been TJ involved in there too at the end of that thing. But
those guys are going to be big players next year for Cadillac.
Yep.
It's all right. 2 receiver set, full house, shotgun formation, back to pass. Nobody there. He's got nothing. And here comes Keenan Cooper. Nope, 67.
Johnny Jeriga takes a big step over the quarterback. Nice job, big fella.
So a nice sack there. And Cadillac speed proves potent again. Traverse City will be forced to punt.
Well, I was with you. I was kind of looking at the receivers for Traverse City downfield, and there just was nothing there, and I wasn't sure. A lot of times this year, I've looked back, and there's so many nice quarterbacks in the Big North with the ability to scramble out of there and get big yards. That was the fear of them, but Dirks took them to the turf.
All right.
Let's get a return, fellas.
So 4th and 14. Traverse City Central will punt. Cadillac's up 7-0.
I'd like to see him catch it clean and get it up near midfield.
And decent punt there. It's going to hit the turf again. Oh, he hit it! Oh, no! And that's a fumble, and Traverse City Central is going to pick it up. Cadillac team, I don't know the player.
I think it was Johnny Alberts who was near it. I'm not sure if he touched it or not, but he was certainly pretty close to it.
It redirected. It hit off a Cadillac player. I think they're discussing it right now. Cadillac's going to catch a break here if it didn't.
I'll tell you what, that's being driven nuts by our special teams right now. Just not. That's still a punted ball. They're going to give it to Cadillac here, and we'll be able to go back and look on film and see if that actually hit Johnny or not, or a different Viking or nobody. But that's frustrating because that is a catchable punt in the air, and we're really kind of tweeners and indecisive on that thing. And
just come up and grab the ball.
We shouldn't be. I mean, those guys are strong.
Jay Carell back in the day, dude, there was no question he was catching the ball on the fly. He was going. So, all right, Cadillac 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. 2-back set, hand off to Michael Holdship right up the middle. That's the battleship right there. It picks up about 7 yards. I tell you, there isn't a single linebacker I know that's going to want to meet him in the middle. And it doesn't matter if you even meet him in the middle. He's going to still pick up 2 or 3 yards after the hit. And, you know, he's just tough to bring down.
Oh, yeah, there's no question.
He's
he has
a
little
load.
Bit of space in there, and away he goes.
He's not carrying here. He's lead blocking. We're running left. Here we go. Oh, holding on Cadillac. I think they got us. So usually the penalty flag in that vicinity.
Yeah, it was either motion or
holding, and I have a feeling it was holding on the center. Yeah. Oh, illegal procedure. So it's only a 5-yard variety. So that brings up 2nd and 8. Replay 2nd down. Low-scoring game so far. Mistake-driven game. Keenan Cooper got a little dinged up. In comes Nate Hauk.
That's big. Any penalties are big, and you go from 2nd down and 2 to now you're 2nd down and 8.
So, all right, we'll see what Jim Webb has dialed up here with 6:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead. Game 9. We got Zorro. Boy, they get in their defensive set really late, like you mentioned. We got a little pistol look. Here comes Lewis Finch over that left side. Not a whole lot going on there. A lot of scraping and a lot of pursuit from that left side of Traverse City. Minimal gain of maybe about 2 yards will bring up 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6 for the Vikings.
See if Coach Webb doesn't go to that same kind of a Zorro set and have Lewis pop back out of that thing and dunk it over the middle.
You haven't seen that a whole lot this year,
have
you?
Not a lot, but at selected times.
Yep.
Yeah, it's happened a few times, but usually he doesn't go. Yeah, he usually doesn't go back to back on a 2nd down, 3rd down with it in this situation, and we're not. We're back into a full spread.
So this is where you see Lewis Finch go on that delayed draw. 5-receiver set, 3 up top, 2 down low. Lewis Finch in shotgun, back to pass. Oh, nothing going on. It's going to be tipped at the line. He had Holdship out there in the flat. It was a nice defensive effort there by number 64, Traverse City, Zach Mayo, and that will be a punt for Cadillac.
Just not stuff that you're used to seeing with the Cadillac offense. That was a 5-man rush, I think, out of Traverse City Central, and an unguarded or an unblocked rusher up the middle, and Lou just had to get rid of it. tipped away.
So Michael Holdship back to punt for Cadillac Vikings.
Boy, they sure don't respect his leg much. As much as it's gone over their head, they're still sitting back there only about 30 yards. There it goes over his head again.
And 33 is going to, oh, he got a lucky bounce, and here it comes. It's going to be
tackle.
dragged down there by Jake Ellens. I said, he's an all Big North performer in my book. And he's going to drag him down at the 30-yard line where Traverse City will take over 1st and 10. And, you know, I just can't believe. Do you think they have 100 total offensive yards?
They who?
Traverse City.
No, we can't have much more than that. I mean, we haven't really moved the ball much either. But, no, I don't think there's been a whole lot of offensive stuff. They got some toward the end of the first half, but it was kind of garbage yards that weren't going to amount to much. That they might have got 20 or 25 out of that last play from scrimmage in the first half.
So, all right, Traverse City, inside handoff to Shepperly. Oh, he's right up the middle. He could be gone. I don't know if he's going to catch him. He's got a lot of speed. Number 9, we're going to track him down, though. Jake Ellens.
That's
a block in the back. Did they get it?
No, they didn't throw the flag.
Wow, 72 was down there and threw a heck of a block. Ben Sherwin, but number 9 went off. Matt Poopel. They got another Poopel coming. And there must be 3 brothers. Boy, that was a nice play right up the middle. Jake Ellens ended up dragging him down, but man, I thought there could have been a block in the back that was missed.
Would have been late, and
this is shaping up to be just like what last year was.
Yeah, it's going to be a football game for sure, right down to the last tick. 5 minutes to go now in the third quarter.
So all right, they're knocking on the door at our 20-yard line, and there's a timeout on the field, and who calls it? Wow, TC Central calls it.
A little bit of a difference between coaching philosophies. If that's Jim Webb on the other side, you get a long gain like that. He likes his team to run up right to the line of scrimmage and make the defense get there and get lined up in time to go run another play. And Traverse City's going to call a timeout, let their guys recover a little bit.
But, you know, that's been Cadillac's motto, though, you know, their mojo, I guess. You know, they've been a bend but really don't break defense. They've given up some plays, but really...
Well, our defense has had to be on the field a lot tonight. I mean, our offense has not sustained any drives in the last, I think, 5 or 6 series. We've given the ball right back to Traverse City. All five of those series have just gone back to them either in punt form or...
But if you think about it, because I've watched the tape, I haven't been at all the games, you take Manistee and throw it right out the door, okay,
yep.
Because Manistee was just that bad. Offensively, we have not put up a ton of points the last 3 games.
No.
Outside of Manistee. We have struggled with Gaylord. We've struggled with
have.
TC West.
We
We've struggled with
yep, we've made
TC Central.
And had some penalties at key times. It has not been a clean, crisp offensive performance. And luckily our defense, Coach Baker's defense, has stepped up and risen to the challenge and kind of carried us a little bit. And tonight it's just been glaring. I mean, the offense really has nothing in sync. We haven't put together strings of 2 or 3 first downs in a row and gotten any real long broken gains with the exception of Lewis's 1 touchdown run.
Yeah, and I don't want people to think I'm bashing on Webb either, because that's not what I'm saying.
No,
it's on the kids to execute.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying I've noticed that trend the last couple of weeks, and here comes 20. Ethan Campbell, nice job by Ethan or T.J. Baker to come up and from that linebacker position. But you know what I'm saying is I'm not talking about Webb not being able to move the ball. It comes back to the kids executing. I'm just saying offensively we have not, you know, really put up the numbers we've been used to seeing the first 6 games.
Yeah, it just hasn't clicked. It
Yep.
just has not been a machine like it was early on in the season. And you know, there's been flashes of it, but it just hasn't. We haven't had that consistency where it's just been drive after drive after drive where teams just didn't have any answer, except for, like you said, against Manistee, which really wasn't a very good football team.
So Joe Shepperly off that little counter again. They're starting to pound the ball. And they pick up another 3 yards, bring up 3rd and 7. See, this is 4-down territory. If you're a smart team, you just pound the ball for another 2 yards each time, and you pick up a first. We'll see what they dial up. Cadillac defense has been pretty stout, edge to edge. It's that middle that you got to really protect. So, all right, here we go. Same offensive set.
We need somebody on our defensive side to step up and make a big play.
And there it is right there, and he's going to pick up almost a first down, if not a first down.
I think it's going to be
real close
to a first down. If not, it's going to be 4th in just a matter of inches.
So they're probably going to measure. It's going to be 4th down, just short. Boy, we got bad angles up here. So 4th and 1, 3:30 left in the third quarter. Cadillac with a 7-0 lead. Traverse City Central, you know,
I run Shepperly. The dude's 200 pounds plus. I give the ball to Shepperly, and if you want to meet him in the hole, you meet him in the hole. Or he's lead blocking for Campbell, one of the two. Traverse City, fourth down. You give it to Shepperly, he's going to pay. It's just strength right there. I don't know who he hit.
Yeah, if he catches it and he's going downhill
that's
and leaning
Holdship
forward, he's gonna get his.
And that's I tell you, that's something when Holdship and Shepperly meet one another, isn't it? That's 440 pounds of muscle.
Yep.
It's fun to watch. It's a man's game.
Now you got a first down. You got 6 yards to go to the end zone, and Vikes got to.
They got to buckle down.
Yeah, and to be honest, they haven't been great inside the 10-yard line. Our defense hasn't been great. It's just that most teams haven't ever gotten down there.
Joe Shepperly again. He's going to get in. Nope, down to the 1-yard line. Be second and goal to go. And I can't believe you're going to go away from Shepperly. That left side's they're really getting a good push. I think our defensive line's getting a little wore down, and Shepperly's just a bowling ball. He's a tough kid. I think he's only a junior too. No, he's a senior this year.
Yard to go.
So second and goal. Looking for a big push here, a big defensive play. We got 3, 6, 7 in the box to Shepperly again, and he's not going to get in. The defense holds him. Are they going to get the push?
Yeah.
They got it. So touchdown, Traverse City. Yeah.
That's just one of those things where in high school they don't call that whistle very early anymore. And
man,
it's going to be a tie game.
But I still remember the speech you gave last year, John. At the end of the game, the end of the day, you got kids in blue that have been in this situation before. You got seniors. We talk about it all day long. Lewis Finch would be a 3-year varsity starter if it wasn't for other players that were in front of him. You got Ethan.
Did we call another timeout?
Yeah, you got Ethan Myers. You got how many? Yeah, 14 seniors on this team that have been here. Yep. They got 14 minutes to turn this game into a Big North Conference championship. I expect it to happen. I didn't expect it without any adversity.
Yep.
And that's what they're going to go through. You got a team on the other side of the field that's playing for a ton of pride.
Yep.
They want the Big North Conference championship just as much as you want it. You just got to buckle down as seniors. And just get the job done at the end of the day, and I just expect that to happen.
Well, I expect it to happen too, and I hope that it does. I mean, at some point in time, we always used to talk about it as who's going to start grabbing face masks and holding kids accountable. In reality, a team just marched down the field and scored on you, but it's the first touchdown of the game. I mean, that's a good football team over there, so it's not like these guys aren't going to be pointing and name blaming. They got to figure out a way to get the ball moving on the offensive side. We knew 7 points wasn't going to be enough to win the football game. The defense can only do so much for so often on the field. I mean, the fatigue enters into it, even with 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. So offensively is where things just really you got to find something that works again, and a lot of that does come down to execution. And like you said, those seniors just stepping up and holding each other accountable.
So a 7-6 game. It is good. It's a 7-7 game here in Cadillac with 14 minutes left to play in this game. It's a ball game, Big North Conference Championship. I wouldn't want it any other way.
No, you don't.
Tie game.
And the nice thing is you're at home. You got a nice crowd here who's kind of filed in a little bit late.
They need some excitement.
Yeah, they do. And offensively, somebody's going to step up and make a play. It's happened all year long. And if it doesn't, we may not win the football game, but it's happened all year long where Jake Ellens makes a big play here and there, or Lewis does with his arm or his legs, or Ethan Myers or Michael Holdship. Somebody on offense is going to make something happen that's unexpected or that's just incredible, and it can make a difference in a football game. It has all season long.
So, all right. Traverse City
Maybe it'll be on special teams for once.
I just come to expect it, and something's going to happen somewhere. We saw it last year a lot, where we were in the exact same situation. We take off, they scored, we came back and scored. Cadillacs, they got more in the tank, more in the in reserves, and we just got a lot of nice senior leadership. And so Traverse City Central is going to kick it off. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a legal procedure. Let it roll, and we're going to get the ball either at the 35-yard line or we're going to make them kick it again. We're going to take it at the 35-yard line. Jim says that's good enough for us. So our offense will come onto the field 1st and 10 from the 35. Tie game, 7-7. We're still in the third quarter. A lot of football left to be played. We just have to sustain some drives, get our running game going, get Lewis out in space, and
get clicking again. Yeah, just get clicking. And I don't know if we need to have some type of a rhythmic hurry up on offense, or
we haven't seen it yet, really, outside of a little bit.
Not a lot.
In the first half.
Yeah, we did a little bit early on in the first quarter, and kind of went away from it. The trips to the left here.
Yep. So we got a full house down at the bottom of the screen. Michael Holtship by himself is probably going to run off right tackle, if I had to guess. Nope, Lewis Finch back to pass. He's not going to have a whole lot of time. He's going to get brought down there. Nice coverage downfield by Traverse City Central. He's going to get sacked. I tell you, he's had one heck of a game, 73.
Well, Jim's pointing at Ethan Myers as if he's open here in the flats, which he is, but Lewis just had no time to find him. I mean, as soon as he set his feet, he's got one guy who'd step up in the pocket, and he's got another one. That's just a confusing for me on first down from the 35. It just doesn't seem like us, where we're just all of a sudden going to become a drop-back team with 3 guys left. And
well, he might have been set.
The stuff that we've done on first down effectively in the throwing game has kind of been stuff underneath to one of our. There we go.
So a little option play out to Michael Holtship, and he stays on his feet, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds.
He didn't get the first down.
No, but he picked up 15. Lou extended the play long enough, so it's a positive gain. Instead of 2nd and 16, it's it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yep.
So it's manageable. So that was a nice play by Lou, a nice run by Michael Holtship to get out of bounds, and we go to that hurry-up offense. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
It's a big, big play right here.
Yes, it is. You're going to throw the ball, if I had to guess. Hand the ball off to Michael Holtship. Not a whole lot going there, but he's going to pick up still a couple yards. Now does
Jim's going to go for it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a 7-7 game.
He's at least going to stand up there. He's going to try to draw him off sides once and then maybe kick it. But
it's 4th and 1, but it's a 4th and a long one. That's close to 4th and 2.
It's 4th and 2. It's 4th and 2.
So, all right, here we go. 4th and 1.
Yeah, we could have.
Going to try to draw him offside.
Nope. Got unguarded guys. He's not.
Oh, he held him. He held him. He didn't get it.
Boy, it's close. I mean, where it's being spotted, it's real close. Both line judges are coming in right on the 45. It's the bottom
one that's going to get the line. It's the bottom one.
And that's right where the stick is. So it's probably going to be measurable at least.
Boy. I think the spot they got it. If they don't get it, it's a credit card.
Oh, he already gave him the first down without even a measurement.
Wow. So that's a first down for Cadillac. That's the roll of the dice by Cadillac to pick up the yardage. It's 1st and 10, 48 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We'll mark that play.
The chain guys aren't moving yet. Now they're taking off. Well, Jim's made those calls all year long. You know, I mean, it's not like it was anything new for those guys to hear that in the huddle that we're going to go for it on 4th down and we're in our own territory. We did it all year long with the lead, tied, up, down, doesn't make any difference. They have confidence.
Lewis Finch is going to hold on to the ball. He's going to slither his way for about 3 yards. It was a nice job. He kind of slipped in the backfield. Traverse City did a nice job of holding the edge. 73 has played a whale of a game for Traverse City Central. Turn Lou back in. He had the presence of mind to go off right tackle with Sam Denman and pick up about 3 yards.
I don't like to see all the confusion on offense. I don't like to see T.J. Baker and Coach Webb in a conversation about where he's supposed to be. We're week 9. You know, this should be drilled down and should be just kind of automatic.
Where you been?
If you're going to get stopped, you're going to get stopped. But man, guys got to know where they're supposed to be. And
where you been?
We're at the 49. It's a 7-7 game in the 4th quarter.
That was my life for 3 years. So 12 minutes left in this game. It's 2nd and 7. It's a tie game, 7-7. It's for all the marbles, man. It's for the Big North. It's for bragging rights. It's for something that just hasn't been done in Cadillac in a long time. Yep. 2 straight Big North outright championships.
Yep.
2 9-0 seasons. It's just special.
There's a lot more on the line for those types of pride situations like you're describing than there really is for the playoff situation. The points will mean something here or there, but the reality is in the playoffs you don't know whether you're going to be better off playing a better team early or later or whatever. So yeah, you're right. It's about the Big North, and you got 12 minutes left. Seniors, step up. Coaches, step up. Everybody step up. Fans got to get involved in the game. The officials did their part with I don't know if that was a generous spot or not. He may have clearly had the first down. Just looked like a pile that kind of got up near the 35. I was surprised they didn't actually measure for that thing with how close it looks like the chains are. But we got the ball at midfield. We got to continue a sustained drive here and get some points out of this thing.
Yeah, and it just comes down to the poise of the kids. Traverse City has impressed me, but I see our demeanor. I think we just got a lot of poise, and I think we're going to finish this one out. Fourth quarter, we're going to get it started. Traverse City's still late. 2 back set, 2 receiver set, shotgun formation. Hand off to Michael Holdship around that left side. We got blockers out front. Holdship is going to be met. Finally brought down after a gain of about
got a flag.
5. Is that a hold?
Came in the middle of the field late.
A block in the back. Holding against Cadillac.
Wow, from the back, Judge.
Yeah, and that's it's not a spot foul at that point. It's going to be from the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
When it's in front of the play, or it's going to be a spot foul.
He's going to mark it off from there.
That's just fine.
Yeah, let's let him go ahead.
I have no problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, he brought it up a little bit.
Oh, he's trying to do it from the spot of the foul. All right, well, that's another unfortunate penalty in midfield, big time for the Vikes. It's going to make it 2nd down and 15.
No problem. No problem. We got the firepower. We got the athletes to do it and get it done. Just got to give Lou Finch some time. You know, I want to see, instead of Lou dropping back, I like to see him get him out in space. He's so dangerous running the ball and making a decision out there. Get him out in space to his strong side. You got 3 receivers set. You're going to roll him out because Michael's on his left. He's going to protect him. Lou's going to roll out left. Oh, he's going to throw it, and he's going to throw it in the dirt.
That might be a lateral.
Ooh. Not one of his best passes. But, you know, Lou's probably a 70% passer, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he must not have had his hand fully around that thing or whatever it was, but that just certainly was not a good pass.
It's all right.
I think the defensive lineman, the Tice kid, and I don't know who 60 is, Zach Mayo for Traverse City. Those guys are causing all kinds of havoc on our offensive line. They're busting through, and they're just making things a little bit more difficult for us offensively than we really want them to be.
So all right, here we go. 3 receivers at the bottom. Nobody up tight. Michael Holdship's going to protect his strong side on the right. Lewis Finch back to pass. Oh, and he's going to get brought down and hauled down by number. Is that Poople? Jeez, oh, Pete, I tell you, these don't quit making the Poople kids. Nate Poople ended up, I think, going to Siena Heights. Those are his 2 younger brothers playing.
Yeah, that's just another offensive series that's just stopped, and the penalty was huge. I mean, we were doing some things, running the football, starting to get a little bit of a drive, a little bit of momentum going, change of quarter, penalty, you know, a bad pass by Lou, and then a sack, and it's over.
So Michael Holdship, oh, nice job, Holdship. It was a tough, this returnable here. Oh, boy, how many times has he fell on the ground? I bet you number 23 is not real happy, and that's Shawaniki right now about what's going on, but he's used to that turf at Thoroughly, and all of a sudden you get on this grass, it gets a little slicker, the dew's starting to come out.
Yeah, he wanted to catch that thing on the fly for sure and get some positive yardage out of it, but yeah, just a weird thing for the Vikes. We haven't seen Nate Houck be able to touch the ball in a while on offense, and just hasn't been any rhythm to it that's been able to build on itself. So defense, once again, is going to be called on. This time they're going to have to stop them a little bit earlier than they did last time.
So all right, inside hand off to number 9. Off that right side. Uh-oh, this could be trouble. He's still on his feet, and he's going to get finally hauled down there across inside Cadillac territory out to the 45. But that inside handoff, Matt Poople, went off tackle. Just a lot of daylight on it, so I don't know what happened to the right corner if I have to go back to tape, but if the wide receiver held him up, but that's a pickup of 20 yards.
You see our defensive linemen a little bit, they look a little bit tired. Hands on hips. They're a little bit flat-footed, walking back, walking around, and they've been out there a lot tonight, asked to do a lot, and they're going to be asked to do more here in the last 10 minutes.
So, all right, Traverse City Central, hand off to Shepperly, who's going to pick up about 4 and finally brought down there. Came back on the play, I think, is Cody Lux, 84, who kind of went upfield hard but then brought himself back. Pickup of about 2. 10 minutes and clicking. 7-7 game. 2nd 8 inside Cadillac territory.
You have to say Traverse City's definitely got the momentum here. They've moved the ball. They scored last time. They've had a little bit of surge with their offense. They found something that works with that little reverse spin handoff to the quarterback.
They're just pounding us with the ball. Yeah. They're not throwing the ball. They're just running the ball. Oh, and and they throw it out there. So a nice job. Nice cover up, but it's still a pickup of about 5. It's manageable. It's just like a handoff. And
they keep you on your toes. I mean, they
yep.
Nice job by their coaching staff to not just go strictly to the run, to let your linebackers and cornerbacks and everybody else pin their ears back and come at you. You got to respect them a little bit. Big down.
Yeah, 3rd and 4.
Couple of them because they're.
I got a feeling they're going to run the ball, and they're thinking this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, they're going to give it to their big horse a couple times in a row, I would think.
So 3rd and 4.
Crowd's starting to get into it. Nice to hear.
And off. Oh, here comes
Big
Campbell. He's
sweep.
got some room out here. He's going to get to the edge, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds, but not before a 1st down. He showed some speed there.
It looked like there was just a lot of space out there on the corner that time.
But we covered up quick.
Did. Johnny Alberts, I think it was the corner down this side, did a nice job to hold it to just that gain of 4 or 5 because there was a head of steam and there was lead blockers.
So, all right, 1st and 10 for Traverse City Central. 9 minutes and ticking on Cadillac's 34-yard line. Inside handoff to number 9 again. Nice job there by Holdship, I think, or Durga. It was John Durga that was there.
Got off ground, found the football early. Got a wrap on him. Still going to pick up 2 yards. Maybe.
No gain.
No gain?
No gain.
Good. He had his knee down. Nice job, Durgs.
So 2nd and 10 for Traverse City. They're chewing up a lot of clock. They've been on 7 minutes.
Need to get them in some 3rd, 4th, and long situations.
Oh, he's going to throw it.
Jake Ellens is all over it, I believe. That could be picked. Oh, he
caught
it. Wow.
Touchdown, Cadillac.
Jake was there. I don't know if Jake missed it or if he got a hand on it, and then it was still caught by the Traverse City Central receiver. Nice concentration on that young man's part.
Jake was there, though. The kid just made a play.
Jake wasn't fooled on it. Wow.
So that's a touchdown for Traverse City Central. They take the lead with 8 minutes left in this game. This is something Cadillac has not experienced a whole lot of, the adversity late in games. They've usually been up. They've been in some tight ones, but they haven't been down, so we'll see what kind of resolve Cadillac has.
They'll draw on maybe the Gaylord game at halftime where they were down late by a touchdown and they had to come back at home and finish some things up. Sometimes it just kicks you in the rear a little bit, and it maybe gets you out of your offensive funk that you were in when you know you're under a little bit of a time crunch.
So it is good. Geez, he's good. Holy heifer. So Traverse City Central takes a 14-7 lead over Cadillac here on the last game of the season. Gave up a 37-yard pass play for a touchdown, and that's probably one of the longest touchdown or plays that we've given up all year. We don't usually give up large chunks of real estate.
No, and it was I don't even know what to call it because Jake was in a good spot defensively. He was with the guy. He didn't get sucked up because it was a halfback pass. It even looked like he timed it well, and I thought maybe he had a chance to come down with it in the end zone. We were going to come out on the 20-yard line, but whatever it was, and now Cadillac's got to find a way to rally the troops, rally each other on the field, and execute.
This is the drive right here.
Yep.
It's not the next possession. You have to answer this possession at least with some sort of...
You've been hitting the jaw for
sure.
I mean,
you got
scored
smacked
first
around.
In this game, and that was big deal. And then and now Traverse City Central's just come back and kind of put you in your place. And how you respond to that is going to determine whether or not you got to share this trophy with these guys or you get to keep it all yourself.
So, all right, 8 minutes and a half left in this game to see what goes on. Traverse City Central kicks it off. Oh, and a little miscommunication. Wow. We got lucky. We got really lucky. Miscommunication between Jake and Ethan, and it's going to be a touchback. Cadillac's going to start on their own 20-yard line. But this is the drive right here. This is all Lou Finch, senior quarterback. This is all your seniors on the offensive line. This is just it. This is the game. This is the Big North Conference Championship. This is where you make your hay. And this is where the memories are made. And
Absolutely.
you just can't wait until there's 2 minutes left in the game. You got to do it right now. So I expect Cadillac to respond.
Big players make big plays at big times. It's time.
Yep. Lewis Finch, shotgun off that right side, and he's going to get dice and slice his way up to almost the 20. Oh, that's a late hit.
Boy, it was pretty close. That kid.
I saw that through the camera.
He came in there a little bit late, but nice job by Lou. Nice, tough, hard run. You hate to see that have to be out of him, but I love to see him clapping as he comes back to the huddle. He's not a kid that's going to go down quietly with his team. He's going to do everything in his power these last 8 minutes to get this thing into the end zone.
So it's 2nd and 1.
Jake Allen split right. He's been held relatively quiet here tonight offensively.
They haven't thrown. They only threw one pass to him early.
Yeah.
And it was a dirt ball.
Yep.
So a 2-by-2 set with Michael Holdship protecting Louis' left.
This is
Lewis
going to Holdship, I would have to
shotgun
imagine.
formation. Fake handoff to Lou. Uh-oh, he's back scrambling. He's looking. Nice comeback pass by Jake Ellens.
Now there Jake did what Jake needs to do. When Lewis is having to scramble, and obviously you're out of the prescribed play at that point in time. By the time Lou had to tuck that thing and take 4 steps backwards to get out of trouble, Jake did a nice job, came back to the football where Lewis could see him and find him for a first down. Nice job to Jake. Nice job by Lou to find him.
So first down for Cadillac. They're marching. They're on their own 40-yard line. They got some mojo. 3 receivers set up top. Cooper, Ellens, and Ethan Myers with receiver down low, T.J. Baker. Lewis Finch off that left side. And he's going to pick up about 2 yards. Number 22, yeah, came up.
Poople.
How
many Pooples they got on that
Pete,
field?
They just keep having them. It's got to be Catholic.
He does a nice job at busting stuff up on the outside.
And that's a sophomore.
Yeah. Looked a little bit like Johnny Alberts did. And, the only good news for us is we still picked up 2.5 yards on that thing.
So the clock is ticking. It's going to be 2nd and 8 for Cadillac. A 2-by-2 set. This is kind of what we like to throw out of. Straight 3-step drop off that shotgun formation. 1, 2, 3. He's going to pack it up. He's going to look to throw across the middle, and it's going to be, I think Jake Ellens fell down on the play. Maybe they got tangled. It wasn't pass interference, but he was looking for Jake. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for Cadillac.
That's a surprising call.
I like to see him come back on the edges.
Well, we're just all of a sudden this team that's going to try to drop back and throw. It's weird.
We're a 300-yard on the game, on the ground game team.
Well, it's been a mix, and now you're in a situation 3rd down and long near midfield where you're almost in a forced to throw situation, which you hate to be in those because now they can dial up some defenses that they wouldn't have so much confidence in on 2nd down and long.
So Lewis Finch back to pass. There he was. And he threw it. And he just threw it behind Michael Holdship. I tell you, 73 read it. He read the swing pass.
Yep.
And Holdship came
took
free.
Off. Yeah, it was a nice job by Michael to take off and release. And
Lou just
he's on his back shoulders.
Lewis normally is a 70% passer, and he's usually on. Tonight he's been a little bit off.
Yep.
It'll be 4th and long. Cadillac's going to get the ball back. This game's far from over. There's still 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Cadillac down 7. Unfamiliar territory, uncharted waters. Just Todd Baker's defense. But the one thing I noticed, too, this game is we've lost the turnover battle so far.
Yeah.
It's 1-0 them.
We have lost the turnover battle, but...
We were lucky they weren't rushing.
Wow.
They got roughing the kicker.
Roughing, or is it going to just be...
It might be running into them, but if they get roughing, it's a 5 yard.
I'll tell you what, but 5 yards might be enough for Jim Webb to say, we're going for it, fellas. If we're 4th and 3 here near 50-yard line.
He's talking to his coaches right now. What are we doing? Wow.
Very nearly didn't matter because it very nearly was recovered by the Vikings down there, and that would have been huge.
I just want to point something out to our viewers, though.
We're coming back. I think we're going to go for this, guys.
Earlier in the game, my color man was complaining about the muff. Should have been a 15-yard penalty. Doesn't matter.
No complaint. I mean, I didn't even see that, but I'm sure it was running into. That's likely the right call.
But no, what I'm saying is we just benefited from that call. You know what I'm saying? We muffed it. We picked it up.
Oh, yeah. Well, tit for tat. I mean, if it's going to be called one way, it's got to be called the other. Both 5-yard varieties, though, so it didn't.
All right, so now Cadillac's going to go for it. It's 4th and 3. This is huge. 6 minutes left in the game. We're on our feet now. It's 4th and 3.
Draw him off sides with a hard count.
Nope. He's going back to pass.
He's got Jake. Yeah.
He's got Jake for a first down out there, so we roll the dice, and Tim Webb gets a first down.
That's the underneath pattern, just bread and butter stuff. Love it. Quick release. You got Jake, nice control receiver out there.
So, all right, new life for Cadillac. 6 minutes left in the game. Cadillac down 7. Now we got 3 receivers set up top, 1 down low. Michael Holdship single back. I'm not sure we'd be throwing the ball here in this situation.
No, this one needs to go to Michael.
Lewis Finch is going to run the ball up the middle.
He's got space.
And nice, he's going to be brought down just across the 35-yard line. Nice run by Lewis Finch.
Heavy dose of Lewis Finch and Michael Holdship right here is what's prescribed for. You got 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the game. It's just a ton of time. Don't have to be in any kind of hurry at all.
So, all right.
Boy, I'd like to take advantage of these slow defensive backs getting out. Man, oh man.
Just quick snap.
Just one time.
Hand off to Michael Holdship up the middle. Nice pursuit by number 5, who came in from that right defensive end.
They do close fast, don't they? They're more impressive defensively now than they were in the first quarter for sure.
They came around the edge hard.
Yep. And they've got their couple of down linemen who hopefully are getting a little bit tired here. That the Tice kid, he's a tough
a load.
player.
He is a load. So 2 receiver set, 2 back set, shotgun formation. Lewis Finch going to hand off to Keenan Cooper off that right side. He's going to be swallowed up there by the right defensive tackle who shot in there past Broersma. I think it was Jake Laskowski, 55. Yep. Man, he came in there like a bullet off that left tackle position. Bring up a 3rd down and short for Cadillac with 4:42 left in the game. Cadillac down 7. All right, 2-by-2 set. Lou Finch gonna go right. He's got some blockers, and he's gonna get hit by number 22.
Got the first down though.
Yep. So first down for Lou. The clock's gonna be ticking.
They'll reset the chains, then the clock will move at 4:22.
That's just more point of people on the right side, or just more blockers.
We like to go to that short side.
Yes, we do.
Jim likes to force his guys to turn up field, and especially when it's, I don't know if that was what our formation was there at all, but
it's a 2-by-2.
Yeah, that looked like it could have gone for more than it actually went for. Nice low tackle, disrupting Lewis's feet
so Lewis checked off. Michael Holdship's getting this ball. He's going to put Cooper in motion, hand off to Michael Holdship. Yeah, if the linebackers were paying any sort of attention, Lou telltaled on that.
Yeah.
He turned around to Michael.
Coach Webb might have one more progression in that play after the fake jet sweep.
Pass.
A fake to Michael, and then Lou's got all kinds of room over here to the right, either run or pass who pulls that thing out. I mean, you know how much attention the jet draws, and then Michael Holdship draws the rest of it. I mean, everyone is sucked into the middle. There's nobody out here.
It's like a little dose of their own medicine that they've given us over the years. So, all right. Offset, 2-by-2. Oh, they were still shaking around. Lewis Finch out there. He throws the ball.
Make a move. Nice job, Ethan Myers.
So Ethan Myers gets down to inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal with 3.5 left in the game.
Lots of time.
And are they going to call timeout?
I think they haven't got the chains moved yet, so I think Jim's just taking all the time that he wants to here.
So 1st and goal to go, 9-yard line. This is what I expected. Cadillac knocking on the door, down 7.
What do you like here in the red zone, the skinny red zone?
I like on 1st down, I like to see Michael Holdship touch the ball. With pistol or Lou keep the ball. I don't like. I just want. You're going to run Michael right is what you're going to do out of this, because TJ's going to come in motion. There it is. Michael's going to run right. Nice job, 73. Wow, as he played a whale of a game. But I
like running away from that kid.
I like the pistol with Lou now, because it just adds Michael as another blocker, and it's just the safety's already 10 yards deep. He's the one that handles the quarterback, right?
Yep.
He's the one that shadows. I like the pistol look. I like giving Lou the ball right here, even though it's 2nd and 11. Let Lou have the ball in pistol. Let him make the decision. Now you're going to go a 2-by-2 set.
I think this is going to be a pass in
Lewis Finch back to pass, corner end zone. No. Nothing going on, just out of the reach of Ethan Myers.
That's a really tough pass, tough angle.
It is. It's a hard pass to complete. Lou's done it. Now you're in 3rd and 11. I think you're in 2-down territory, obviously.
Yep.
That's why I like the run there. I like the run with Lou. Now you bring up 3rd and 11. I still like Lou not dropping back but rolling out. I even like a design draw here.
Well, I like something. I like some sort of an option situation for Lewis out in space.
You might get it. You might get it. You might get the option left here. Here it is.
Jet option.
Hold chip out there in
get
space.
Around there,
he's
Michael.
Not get there.
Get to the corner.
And he's not going to get in.
4.
He's going to get down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be
run.
4th and goal from the 5. You can't run the ball now. There's no way you're running the ball. But you know what? I still like the delayed draw. I really do.
You like keeping it in Lou's hands a little bit longer?
I want to keep the ball in Lou's hands. I want to roll him. I want to keep you protect backside. Let your tight end, T.J. Baker, roll and scrape. I tell you, they're going to come on Lou.
Call a timeout here.
Yep. Lou has the option to run the ball. I've said this for years. I've said it with Gary. I said it with Jalen. Dude, you keep the ball in your best player's hands and let him make the decision.
Yep.
And Lewis Finch is the best player on this team from a decision-making standpoint.
Traverse City's had a little success tonight, though, in putting some pressure on Lewis. You know that they're going to want to come
in the
with something
pocket
here. Yeah, well,
in the pocket.
Yeah, and on 4th down, in the territory on the field where you're at, you don't have to worry about giving up the big play because the big play is only 4 yards. So you don't have to worry about getting stretched. So now you can bring a little bit of extra heat around the edges. So that's a tough call. I like a tight end in this situation, curling around in the middle. Yep. Just something that they haven't seen yet tonight. Somebody that they haven't had to try to cover up. And you know, you got your bigs on the outside. A fade pattern to Ethan or Jake is probably something that they're looking for. Lewis rolling out still gives him the opportunity to run. But I like keeping it a little skinnier here down in this part of the field just because the defense they don't have to cover a lot of real estate.
2 times last year, Petoskey and Ogama, we ran tight end in motion. Jalen went left and then went to run, but then pulled it up and threw it right to the back end zone to T.J. Baker, that tight end, and he was scraping. I would not be surprised here if you see on the right hash, is that ball on the left or it's on the left hash? I would not be surprised T.J. Baker comes in motion and does that little scrape route with 2 receivers on the right with that little button hook in the middle. We did that against Ogama and Petoskey last year. I remember it vividly.
This is really the game here because we let the clock tick down so far, right?
Yeah, it is.
Got 2 timeouts left. We just
you either score or this game's over.
Yep.
Because Traverse City's not giving it back up.
And a bad decision is never to, I mean, if I'm going to throw it, I'd love to see the ball go Jake Ellen's way just because I know he's going to wrestle and fight, bring that thing down.
Are we going to go right? We're going to run the ball. We're going to keep the ball in Lou's hands. What do we got down up? Lewis Finch, here we come. Oh, is he going to back up?
Oh, geez.
And he's going to be brought down there. He's going to lose his footing. Tried to reverse field. It was a designed run, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was just, Traverse City was able to bring all those guys off the edge, so Lewis had nowhere to go to the left. Started out to his right, but he had nowhere to come back to.
The reality is this. The reality is we're still Big North Conference championships. We just don't own it outright.
That is the reality, but there's some things that just have to get corrected. I mean, this team's goal has never been to just be okay going into the playoffs and make another district appearance or something, and just execution. And tonight, it just wasn't there offensively.
So, all right, Traverse City Central is going to hold the ball. Number 9 off that right side is going to be brought down after a gain of maybe 2 yards. Cadillac's going to be forced. They got 2 timeouts. They might be able to get the ball back. I mean, this game's not over.
You got 1:22. We're going to spend our last timeout after the next run. So if you certainly got to hold them under a first down. Assuming you can do that, that's going to run off about another, you got to figure 6-7 seconds. Gets it down to 1:15, 1:16 for the timeout. It's going to be third down. I think if we are able to get the ball back, if Traverse City were to punt this thing on fourth down, we'd be skinnied up on about 10, 12 seconds if everything goes right. But crazier things have happened, and those guys down there in blue shirts, they're going to be in there. They're going to be pawing at the ball right now. They're going to be, you got to stop them. You certainly can't let a first down go by. If you let a first down go by, then it's over, and they could just take knee and burn this thing out. But
there's a better team in blue than there is in white. I'm not saying
could be,
that,
but it just wasn't proven on the field.
I know. I'm not saying.
You got to hand a lot of credit to the defensive. The way that Traverse City responded after the first touchdown by the Vikes, they haven't let up really anything offensively. Cadillac got a little bit going there on that last drive, but they stiffened up, and their size up front on the defensive line, combined with their speed and ability to take stuff away on the edges, has really kind of taken away our offensive potency tonight, no question.
So all right, minute 22 left in the game. Cadillac down 7. Traverse City Central on their own 15, 2nd and 8. They pick up the first down. It's all over. Cadillac has one more timeout. They might be able to get the ball back with 10 seconds, a little counter. With Shepperly, he's holding the ball. Doesn't get any yardage.
1:17, that'll be our last timeout.
Yep, so they're going to get the ball back with 32 seconds left in the game.
Well, you gotta load yet to try to stop them on third down. I mean, nothing Traverse City would like to do more than pick this first down up and
throw a double pass here. I mean, Wooer would.
No, they're not gonna throw the football.
Wooer come out in a swinging gate.
Definitely a load to bring down. Todd's gonna load up the box defensively, and so that
and then they're going to take off 35 seconds.
They're going to take off another 35 seconds.
They're going to get the ball with 35 or 40 seconds left in the game, with no timeouts.
That's enough. I mean, if that was able to turn out that way, and I'd be if we are able to end up receiving a punt here, you're telling Ethan Myers and
come up hard,
Jake Ellens, you got to come up and catch it, and you got to tell our guys that it's really not a punt block situation, because you certainly would be able to be able to handle another roughing the kicker thing. But first things first, you got to get them stopped.
That's not what I expected at all. But my expectations in the Brooks household are a little higher than others. That's what people don't understand sometimes. Why he's so hard? I'm like, well, my expectations are a little different.
Well, the expectations of all these kids out here are different, and they know that they did not do what they set out to do tonight offensively, for sure.
So 3rd and 8, 1:17 left in this game. Cadillac down 7. Traverse City Central. They pick up a first down here. It's over. If not, Traverse City will kick, and they can run the clock down to almost nothing. Will they run the ball? Yes, they will. Reverse.
That's a crackback. Not called. We will. So it'll be 1:10.
After they set the ball, it's going to be 35 seconds or 45 seconds, right?
Once they set it. So it's going to be down closer to 20 or so, right? By the time they have to end up doing their thing. Traverse City may end up letting this thing tick all the way down.
You don't delay a game, but I don't know if you use your last timeout.
Well, I don't think they are feeling like they're going to need to use a timeout. Even worst case scenario, Cadillac comes out and scores. They're not going to have any time to do anything after that anyway.
Well, if they pick up a big play, you like to regroup, because Cadillac's going to come out and just...
Yeah, they're going to use it.
So, like I said, they're going to get the ball back with 28 seconds left by the time this play's over. But I tell you, if I was our coaching staff right now, I got Ethan Myers, who's proven from last year to this year that at any time, all the way from the Lansing Eastern game, he can take it to the house.
Yep.
Gaylord, he did it. He brought it back all the way to the 20 in that pouring down rain. Lansing Eastern last year. This year, he's had some...
You need to catch it with a sense of aggression and really come and attack the football.
Yeah.
And wherever it is. I mean, you just got to plan on catching it. You got two guys back there, and the lefty-righty thing is okay, but it really hasn't it really hasn't done anything for us this year. I mean, it's been probably the weakest part of our offensive production has been on the return side. and you could stack those guys, one in front, one in back, and so if it's a short kick, somebody's got it. If it's a long kick now, but nobody else needs to be anywhere near the football.
All right. I got so many scenarios running through my brain right now. I don't even have a dog in the fight, man. I'm watching basketball games from last year. Just trying
Ethan's by himself back there. I think that means we're going to try to go after the punt, which is...
It could be smart.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll take my chances with him catching it and block this thing up. Come up and catch it, E.
So, all right. 34.8 seconds left in this game. Cadillac down 7. They're going to get the ball back. They're going to come after it.
He's going to take the safety after taking a bunch of time off. Yep. So 27-7.
Would you do that?
No, absolutely not, because now you set up a situation. You're going to kick it to us.
Win.
If we score a touchdown, the game's over. Wow. But, hey, that's all right. In their mind, those seconds were more valuable. But the thing is they got to kick that thing from, what is it, the 25-yard line in high school for after a safety? Or 30?
They score a touchdown. Cadillac wins.
Touchdown wins the game now, for sure. But there's only 27 seconds to do it. So, you know, you've taken it.
I don't care. You don't put points on the board.
I understand that. They did. They chose to. It could turn out in their favor, but if it doesn't, that thing will definitely be second-guessed. You're going to get a little bit better spot on the field, hopefully, in Traverse City's mind by being able to free kick this thing. But now you've also let Cadillac set up a return a little bit, so hopefully that works out well for the Vikes.
Yeah, that was real. I didn't know what to say. I kind of was.
The kid did a fantastic job of taking time off the clock. I mean, he ran
7 seconds.
Yeah, he ran from sideline to sideline. I think he dipped his toe in late Cadillac before he was touched.
The ball doesn't. The clock doesn't start until the ball is touched now.
Correct.
So
instead of on the snap, you're saying.
And
so
if I was Cadillac, depending on where the ball's punted, you might take a knee.
25-yard line, right?
You 20. You might take a knee.
Interesting.
It is.
Here's where our returns team needs to really step up, because this is a huge opportunity. If they can get this thing back to near midfield with over 20 seconds to go, that gives you two or three
shots to get downfield.
Absolutely.
So, all right, this is a huge. Oh man, I tell you, Passanoff's going to be walking home. So the kickoff,
straight long kick. Jake got it 35
at the 35-40. And he's going to be brought down to the 50, right? So they're at midfield with 23 seconds left. You got 4 plays, 4 pass plays, 6 seconds.
No timeout, so you got to take care of the ball at the edges of the field. You can't afford. You cannot afford to go down in the middle of the field without it being a first down. So you got to be mindful of that. Clock's going to run on anything that's short of the first down, sticks in bounds.
So all right, here we go. 23.2 seconds left. We're getting giddy now. We got a pistol formation. We have no timeouts.
Yeah.
It's 14-9. We're chasing Lewis Finch back to pass, and Ethan Myers.
He was hit late and out of bounds. That's going to be another 15 yards on top of that. It's going to bring him down at the 26-yard line, I think. Wow, 17.3 to go, and you're going to have 2 shots.
That coach is going to friggin' walk home.
Nice job by Lewis to stay locked in on Ethan Myers over there. Nice job by Ethan to haul that thing in and take a big lick, and apparently late big lick.
So that's going to be down about the 26-yard line.
Lets our guys regroup. It stops the clock. That is huge.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
17 seconds to go. New life in the Vikes. They are right back in this thing.
So here we go. We got a 2-by-1. Michael Holchip's going to protect. Lewis Finch is going to roll out right. He's going to look for Jake, or he's going to look for his tight end, T.J. Baker, who hasn't seen all night. He might come off the line. You got to pay attention to him.
TC is given all the space you want in the middle of the field. As long as they keep it in front of them, they feel like it's going to be hard for Cadillac to get up the line of scrimmage and spike it. But
so there's T.J. Baker right there.
Take what you can. Nice grab, nice toe touch. That's Jake.
So Jake Ellens comes up with a nice catch. They're down to the 18-yard line.
11.9 seconds to go. You probably want to look at taking your shot now at the end zone, because you cannot afford anything inbounds It'd be tough to run up there and get that thing spiked. Possible, but tough.
11.9 seconds, 2nd and 1. Lewis Finch back to pass over the middle.
Oh, he's got it. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He did.
Touchdown Cadillac. Are you kidding me? I tell you, TC Central, what a, oh my God.
Look at this crowd, baby. Was that Jake Ellens?
That was TJ Baker.
TJ Baker on the drag across the middle. Oh, baby. Cadillac is going to win the Big North by themselves.
That is all
2 years in a row. They are not going to be denied. Unbelievable. I have seen a ton of finishes in Cadillac. I have never seen one like that, ever.
So we still have a 1-point conversion. Are we going for 2?
I think they should go for 2, but just take the penalty and then regroup. Take the 5 yards and then figure out what you want to do. It's really not that vital. Take the 5 yards and then go for 2, Coach. There you go. That's fine. Go for 2. Oh, baby.
I tell you, I have never seen...
You dragged the tight end. I don't know if TJ was in the slot.
He was lined up over the tight end. He dragged.
Wow. He drags across the middle, and now I'm just glad that I'm not... I'm glad I don't live in Traverse City, because the second guessing could begin with why in the world on...
This is a tie game right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, or worse. I mean, or for the Vikes, or worse, because, man, when you're going to punt it away, I can't believe it.
Traverse City needs to find new coaches, because I tell you...
I wouldn't go that far, but
my word.
They called the timeout to make that decision. Here's Lou dropping back, going for 2. He doesn't have any space. He's bottled up. Now he's heaves it. He's got somebody.
And just out of the reach. So Cadillac with a 1-point lead. 4.6 seconds left in the game. Crazy turnaround. Cadillac's going to end up winning the Big North if they don't give up a run back, which I got to believe you're going to squib. But at the end of the day,
well, that's a good question. What do you want to do on this kickoff? Because you know that they've got something that they've practiced before where they've got to score.
You're going to squib it.
Well, even on a squib, you're not guaranteed anything. I kind of like a short pop fly, like a 20-footer. But I don't think we work on that kind of stuff a whole lot. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to kick the thing out of bounds and make them set up a play from scrimmage at the 35 and get your prevent defense out there. But either way, these guys just got to keep white shirts in front of them, get the ball on the ground, and then everybody's going to go over and ring the bell.
What a
unbelievable
gift. What an absolute gift. Holy crap.
Well, that part of it was a gift, but you got to credit these guys. What you talked about is the resolve, that just no matter what happens, we're not going to give in. If this game ends in 4.6 seconds the way that it stands right now, that's all you can credit it to. There's just no other way to explain how you come out of that with just an impotent offensive effort in the second half, nothing going on, and then all of a sudden get handed an opportunity at the end of the football game and go down and punch one in, dragging your tight end across the middle, which is the play, by the way, that I wanted to see on 4th and 4 2 series ago, but we'll let that go.
So, all right, Andrew Remington set the kickoff. Cadillac now with a 1-point lead. Another TC school goes down in flames if this holds up.
Wow.
It's 9:30.
Shocked. I am just shocked. The crowd across the field is shocked. And as soon as this thing gets put on the ground, it's party time, baby. 4.6.
All right, Andrew Remington. He does squib it.
It's on the turf. Still alive. Get that thing on the ground, fellas. Get it on the ground. Find the ball.
So 33.
Just corral it. Just corral it. There you go.
And he's going to get knocked out of bounds.
Game over.
There it is. Big North Conference Championships all by themselves. Cadillac wins. Cadillac wins. Cadillac wins. Their second consecutive Big North Conference title in a row. Uncharacteristically fashionable by Cadillac. I cannot believe the play calling by Wooer and passing off the last 2 years to just give Cadillac this opportunity But you heard it here. Cadillac wins by 1, 15-14. Congratulations to the Cadillac Vikings. Jim Webb, Todd Baker. They're your champions again. They're going to go into the playoffs undefeated for the second straight year. We'll see what kind of noise we can make in Division 4. Have a good night.
So how you doing tonight, Coach?
Well, Travis McDonald feeds inside the ball,
moves out to the 20, gets a good hole. He's to the 30, the 40, the 50. Has one man to beat. He runs him over, and he's out to the 50.